Happy Friday, Los Angeles, California, and parts beyond. He is Doug McCain. I am Bill Reiter. This is DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. You can also call us, 855-97 LA Fan. Get on the stream on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. If you're in there now, if you're heading over, slam that like button. You know what I like? Doug McCain.
Yo.
My dude.
My man.
What's up, buddy? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Dodgers back in action. Got
Let's
the weekend.
go.
Football last night.
Can I just very quickly? So what I did with my non-Dodgers day, right? I know no one cares about soccer, but Barcelona stole a player named Rodri from Real Madrid. I went home. I opened some wine. I did 3 hours of just hate scrolling through Madrid Twitter.
Oh, yeah, they hit that hate score, right?
It was so good, bro.
You were loving that.
It was like what Dodgers fans did on Saturday when they got Tarik Skubal if they had the time and the inclination.
Hey, man.
With the rest of baseball.
Right when I got that notification, it's like, oh, Bill's going to go absolutely crazy about this, not just because of the player, but where he's coming from.
You know what else is going to go crazy? This show.
Yes.
Get it? Stock up, stock down. In an hour, we're going to hit a bunch of LA sports figures. We've got the NFL report coming for you. We'll let you hear the sounds of the various, mostly Rams players and personnel who are talking about, circling, hoping for the return of Aaron Donald. We've got the list 5 at 5 today. We're going to do, what is it? The most and least frightening, as you and I define it, sports figures in LA history.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that one.
The scariest, the least intimidating.
Yep.
I got some tricks up my sleeve on this one, too.
You always do. Tricks are for kids. A-hole of the week nominees in 30 or 40 minutes, but I have a feeling I know one of the guys that could be nominated. A guy that was a hero nominee every day since he became a Dodger may have pissed off my partner, in part because Tarik Skubal, recently added to this Dodgers team, joined the Dodgers on Saturday and talked in the last 24 hours on Pardon My Take about the emotions of being traded from Detroit.
You start saying bye to teammates once the media gets out of there. You say bye to teammates, and a lot of those guys are my best friends. And it's like a bunch of men, and I'm crying. I hate crying. I don't cry a lot. When my wife walked down the aisle, I didn't cry because I was so nervous, and I'm crying in a clubhouse with a bunch of other grown men saying bye to people and getting everybody a hug. So it's tough. But it was a lot. But I'm definitely excited to be here.
I would never speak for you, Doug, but I'm assuming that's not the part that has your dander up, that has you frustrated, because later on in the podcast, as part of the conversation, Tarik Skubal just made a Dodger let the world know, everybody know, he wants to go back to Detroit?
I would love to play my whole career in Detroit. I would love to. And hopefully those negotiations can pick back up in November, once the playoffs are done. And we'll see where that goes. Hopefully they're involved with everything. I would love to return. I got nothing but good things to say about the city of Detroit.
Doug McCain, preeminent Dodgers expert of the universe, my partner, my friend, the person, as our boss pointed out, I didn't even think of this, who selected Tarik Skubal as your big game, go to one guy pitcher over all the Dodgers who have A, done it, and B, wanted to be Dodgers. Your guy, your dude, Skubal, just slapped you in the face.
Come on. Look, Bill, I absolutely hate this. I do not like to hear this from this recently acquired superstar pitcher. And look, I get it from the standpoint, okay, this is a Scott Boras client. He wants to get as many markets involved. He wants to have as big of a market as he possibly can. And if Detroit is a possible team that could sign him, give him a big bag, create a bidding war, I get it. But this disgusts me. It really does. This is like your girlfriend leaving you for someone else. And on the first date with the new guy, with the new girl, he's like, I still think about my ex, right? I'm still thinking about that ex, right? I'm still thinking about Detroit. I'm still thinking about the Tigers. Can we at least have a honeymoon phase? Can we at least have a couple of games? We're already talking about your old team, and you haven't won a World Series. You haven't won a game with the Dodgers yet, and you're talking about the possibility of signing with your former team. I just don't love that. I think that the better way to handle that is to keep the focus on your new team. The Los Angeles Dodgers. I get it. It's emotional when players change teams, when you get to new environments, when you leave clubhouses. It's emotional. You have those relationships. I'm not backing off.
Don't go soft on this guy.
I'm not going soft at all. I'm just saying, look, I'm a big believer in Jimmy Dugan, right? There's no crying in baseball. Tom Hanks' character, I'm about that. But what I'm not about is just this idea of, like, just don't talk about Detroit for, like, give us a week, give us a month. I hate this. This is a guy that said,
give us
hey,
silence. Give us some pitching. Bro, I'm 100% with you. Know what he is? Do you know what he is? And it's okay. And I don't have the time to go on the morning show on Monday. So if the guys are listening, I can't come in. He's a mercenary. He's a mercenary. That's what and it's fine, but I'll never see Tarik Skubal as anything other. By the way, are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Big time.
Golden Company.
Seasons 1 through 4.
I'm with you, dude. It's like Godfather 3. I don't acknowledge. Some mercenaries can put you on the throne. They can liberate you. They can make life good. It ain't love. So if he leads the Dodgers to a third consecutive World Series, if he is the hero, the guy you want to turn to ahead of true Dodgers like Yoshi and Shohei and Snell, and he gets it done, great. God bless him. Good work. That's cool. And if the Dodgers throw $420 million at him, and then that's the deal, fine. And he's here for 5 more years, great. He's still a mercenary. And I'm not mad at him, but bro, just from a PR perspective, it's DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Just save the oh woe is me crap on Detroit for your wife and for your buddies. You don't need to do it on a podcast on day, where are we at, day 5 of your Dodger career?
It's like, bro, we just started this relationship. Can you at least wait a week before writing love letters to your old team?
Don't write any love letters.
Don't say anything.
What kind of dating history do you have?
Exactly.
I don't think longer than a week.
And look,
maybe not at all.
And for someone that was brought in to do a job, and it's clear to me that that's what this is all about, that he is going to be brought in to do a job, and that is to help this Dodgers team win a 3rd straight World Series. And if it doesn't happen, then you're going to look back at this and say, wow, did we get the right guy? I mean, is this the guy that you trust in a game 1, in a game 7?
Perform, dude.
Exactly.
There's no forgiveness for a guy that's already sending, as you said, love letters to the ex.
For sure. And here's the thing. I mean, if you're Skubal, I think that you consider the market you came in, right? Detroit, the Tigers, it's not the Los Angeles Dodgers. And you got to be careful for what you put out there. I mean, I remember a couple years ago with Freddie Freeman, when he came back here from the Atlanta Braves, there was that moment where Freddie Freeman went back to Atlanta, and I thought there was going to be a rain delay because of all of his tears, just because of the emotions that he was showing. And I remember Clayton Kershaw talking about it, saying, hey, we get it. You had a great time in Atlanta. You're a legend in the ATL. But the Dodgers are not chopped liver, right?
But
the Dodgers
Freddie
are no slouch.
wanted to be a Brave.
Exactly.
Like his transition to the Dodgers was much more of a forced thing that he's learned to embrace and love. It is, to your analogy, here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. And call us if you have a take on this Skubal thing, 855-97 LA Fan. It is a second marriage for Freddie Freeman that in a lot of ways the Dodgers he didn't choose, but that became true love. That happens.
Exactly.
I got buddies whose wives have said, I don't love you anymore, and they're heartbroken and they're crushed, and then many years later, it's a wonderful life. Tarik Skubal's the guy who basically made sure that he left Detroit, that he's the one that chose Scott Boras, and that's great. Get all your money. And he's the guy that 13 seconds into this new relationship with the Dodgers went on a podcast that everyone watches, by the way, and said, Detroit, I miss you. I love you. Maybe I'll come back. Do you believe him? It doesn't matter, but do you believe him, or do you think he's just pandering to the Detroit fans?
What I think is at play here is a couple different things.
He said
I think
almost started crying on the podcast.
Yeah.
He almost started crying here. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, here's a box of Kleenex, right? Hey, you gonna give you some of those tears? And I think with Tarik Skubal, the thing that you look at is, and what really bothers me about this too, is this is not a guy that needs to do anything to drive up his market. All he has to do is be dominant Tarik Skubal, be that multi-time Cy Young Award-winning pitcher, and the money is going to come. The $400 million contract is going to be there. He doesn't need to go on a podcast and say, oh, I would love to play with my old team. I would love to get back with my ex and have them drive up the price and go back to Detroit. He doesn't need to do that. Some pitchers, some players, they need to do that. Not a Tarik Skubal. All he has to do is go out there and perform, be elite, help this team win, and he's going to get that contract. So was it some ulterior motives in doing that? Was it trying to show his old team, hey, I still care?
See, my take on this is I think he means it, because he was emotional on that podcast, and it does give Detroit, I guess, a little bit of hope they can bring him back. We've got some calls, and we want your perspective, and we love that you're listening, and we love those of you that want to talk this up with us. Chop it up on the phone lines, 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-975-2326. Ryan in the Inland Empire, thank you for hanging with us. Happy Friday. We're talking Skubal. You, my friend, are on DMAC and Reiter.
Hey, guys. I mean, I understand, okay, Jimmy Dugan, no crying in baseball. We don't want our superstars to have emotions, this, that. But, fundamentally, the guy signed to Scott Boras.
Amen.
You're mad that he signed with a super agent who's going to get him his contract and the best representation? Okay. Did he trade himself? No. The Tigers made an asset choice, right? You look at the Angels, they held on. You could hold on to your superstars for nothing and get nothing out of them. They made a franchise choice. So you're mad that they made a business decision. And then, I mean, the dude's not even 30, right? We're bringing up his age, right? His contract, this, that. He was drafted before the pandemic, right? The dude's been in the Detroit organization since he was 20, 21 years old. He spent almost a decade literally growing up. And, it's a hard thing to, leave where you've essentially grown up as a professional, right? That he got married, this, that. I don't understand the hard part of him having a human side when he made a business decision. The Tigers made a business decision, and the next business decision is Dodgers, you're great, but he hasn't won yet either. So
Ryan, I love the call. No, it's a great call. It's a great point. Thank you. And I have an answer for you. You don't understand. I have the answer. We'll meet in the middle. Here we go. Thank you for calling 855-97-LA-FAN. This is the exact conversation I have with the morning show. You can be a mercenary. You can chase the money. Ryan, nobody's mad at him for making a business decision. It is unsettling. It is confusing. It is a little perplexing that you would make that business decision and then say you want to be in Detroit forever. If you wanted to be in Detroit for your entire career, then you could have gotten a deal done for less than $400 million over the course of whatever the life would have been. If you want to stay married, in this analogy, which I love, Ryan, to Detroit, you don't hire a divorce attorney, which is what Scott Boras is, and that's okay too. I'm not mad at Tarik Skubal. You're a little mad at that. I just think it's a weird choice and borderline disingenuous. He's a business person. He's in a business where you can make $200, $300, in his case, $400 million in his next deal. Good job. Do not go out there and tell me how love is your motivating factor. He doesn't have to be, but if it were, you'd still be a Detroit Tiger, who, by the way, as you know, since he returned from injury, since they had that brutal May, have one of the best records in baseball, one of the best run differentials in the game over that. They got in too big of a hole. So it's not, he says in the clip he thinks they were a World Series caliber team before the injuries.
He does. He absolutely does. And to the caller's point I mentioned a couple minutes ago about Scott Boras and about getting to the market and getting the biggest deal, I think this, to me, primarily is just about the optics of all this and how this sounds. I mean, this guy hasn't even unpacked. This guy has barely popped the tags on his Dodgers jersey, and he's out here talking about his ex. I mean, this to me is perplexing too, because guess what? Your ex didn't love you. Your ex, they dumped you, and your ex was a 6, and you're upgrading from a 6 to a supermodel in the Dodgers, and you're out here complaining. You're out here talking about your old team. My man's going to be in the front yard with a boombox up and trying to get Detroit to take him back. I hate this. I absolutely think for an ace-level pitcher who, mind you, the Dodgers gave up 2 prospects that they loved, 2 prospects that were premium, and you don't wait at least a week, and we're already sliding into Detroit's DMs, talking about, hey, take me back, hey, can we get back together?
DMs, he's shouting it he's walking into the street of the neighborhood like, I still love you, Detroit! John Cusack with a boombox.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Boombox, hey, I love you, baby, take me back!
What? He's also John Cusack from High Fidelity. Detroit, you bleep and bleep. We can work it out. I mean, let's just... And Ryan, it's a great call. And by the way, we like to be challenged. We like different perspectives.
Absolutely.
Ryan in the Inland Empire, hell yeah. Can we give him a cheer? That's a great... I don't agree with your perspective, but I love the call and I love your listen. So thank you, dude, for challenging us and being part of the show. It's cool, dude.
And Bill, can you imagine this would be the doomsday scenario for me in all this? This would be the doomsday scenario. That you trade for Tarik Skubal, you give those top prospects, the Dodgers don't win the World Series, and he's not a reason why, and then he goes crawling back to the Detroit Tigers, and the Dodgers still had to ship away those prospects. I'll remind you a couple years ago, Jack Flaherty, when the Dodgers traded for him in 2024, the Dodgers get Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty helps the Dodgers win the World Series. And then Jack Flaherty re-signed with the Tigers. A different situation just because Skubal's a much better pitcher. You had to give him more prospects. But you can imagine this time next year or in the offseason when free agency picks up that Tarik Skubal is a Detroit Tiger, the Dodgers don't win the World Series, and the Tigers end up with their prospects.
Let me ask you a question here. It's DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. If, like Ryan in the Inland Empire, you want to call in, 855-97 LA Fan. If you're not a phone call person or you're hanging out on the chat on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA, drop your comments in there. I am not looking to do an argument with you. I am not looking to score points, and I'm totally down. There's a lot of information from Jeff Passan that we were going to do here, but this topic's really interesting, and you all seem into it, and Doug's into it, and I'm into it, so we're going to push that off to later. In that segment, I think you and I can try to one-up each other and how we pretend we were right on, whatever, the Skubal thing. But in this case, right?
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about?
Slap.
In this case, try not to derail that with because I do it too. I got you, right, I'm right, and yelling at each other, which I enjoy. I think it's fun radio. Do you think that there's a possibility that people out there suspected that maybe Skubal and Detroit could find some kind of, because if you're Skubal, if you're Skubal and you really are willing to stay in Detroit, it actually is not the worst thing in the world to try to go win a World Series with somebody else now and then go back, especially if they get some prospects for you. Do you think that might have dampened the market a little bit? Just because people always know more in baseball than often gets reported.
So the reason why I have a big issue with this is just the pure fact that he's at such a level. He's at such a tier where just his performance alone is going to get him paid. He doesn't need to play any games like this. I think it was coming from the heart. I think that getting traded is emotional, so that probably is what led to him saying those things. But I do think that there is a world where, Bill, if there's one team that might scratch their head at this, that would be a team that could afford him, it would be the Dodgers. Because let's throw out another scenario about all this, is that Skubal's good, not elite, the Dodgers don't win,
right,
and then they're in a situation like, well, he's really good, but we didn't win, or he wasn't truly elite. Do we give him $300, $400 million because it's, hey, did he really want to be here? And that's the thing, too. He kind of sets himself up now.
Yes.
He sets himself up.
You.
So when the Dodgers traded for Max Scherzer a couple years ago, and Max Scherzer, he was elite when he was on the mound. He was great, helped him get to the postseason, and then he had a case of the dead arm, and then his arm came back to life so he could pick up a pen and sign a contract with the Mets. Well, everyone went back on that and said, well, was this just a business move by Max Scherzer to not perform and not play and not pitch in those pivotal games and force Walker Buehler to pitch on short rest? Well, in Tarik Skubal's case, if he pitches one less inning, if he throws less pitches, if he doesn't perform well, people are going to go back to this and say, oh, he just wanted to be in Detroit anyway. Oh, he wanted to get back with his ex. Oh, he wanted to go back there where he felt more comfortable when he got the ultimate upgrade that you could ever want.
I'm with you. I agree. It is. And look, you would agree with me. He's a mercenary, and which is fine. He's a hired gun.
I don't understand why calling someone a mercenary is even a pejorative term in most senses like this, right?
100%. By the way,
think
mercenaries sometimes fall in love with the people that hire them, not very often. But didn't one of the mercenaries fall in love with Queen of Dragons, but she loved John, who was her nephew? Whatever. It was a whole thing. It was a long time ago. I can't really. So maybe he'll fall in love. There is a world, Ryan, in the Inland Empire, and those that you speak for. We're not avoiding the nuance. We're speaking to the situation. There's a world where this guy loves Detroit. He just said that he did. He is emotional and gets to the same place Freddie Freeman's gotten to in a different way. I mean, Freddie Freeman is a true Dodger and loves the Dodgers. And I said it to my son asked me this the other day. I'm going to get deep now. He's because my daughter is dating someone she's been dating for a while, first boyfriend, and he said, do you think Malin's going to marry this person? I said, probably not. He's like, really? I'm like, I don't know, but no, probably most people. And he goes, What if people fall in love? And I go, many people have many loves over the course of their life. Some, and then find the person and marry that person. You can love Detroit, or in the case of Freddie Freeman, the Braves. That love can be real. It can be hard to go through it. You can miss them when you leave, for whatever the circumstances, and then you can fall in love with somebody new, the Dodgers. It's just not a great start.
That's, I think, what it's all about, too, is like I said, he hasn't even unpacked. He hasn't even popped the tags on that Dodgers jersey. And we're already kind of having these conversations. But I also think, too, that if you are the Dodgers and you're Tarik Skubal, and now I think this reshapes the focus of this right now in that, hey, this is about winning a World Series, and that for anyone that thinks that it makes a lot of sense for the Dodgers to sign him long-term, we're going to have that conversation when we get there. There was never going to be a world where they were going to get an extension done with Skubal before he hit free agency, but this is something to take into account.
I will say this. It's DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, 855-97 LA Fan. You can be a mercenary, but you better be good at the mercenary part, right? Like,
Yeah.
Skubal better be outstanding if he wants to be a Dodger after this year, since he doesn't want to be a Dodger right now. The phone lines are ringing. Keep calling in. Get in line. And I said this about was it Ryan? Ryan in the Inland Empire. We don't mind if you have a different perspective. Doug and I disagree all the time, and we do it respectfully, but we do it, and we want to invite you to that same conversation. So you think I'm full of it? You think Doug's full of it? Right, wink, wink. You can call in 855-97 LA Fan. One of those folks calling is Ty in Santa Monica. Ty, what's up, brother? I hope it's a little cooler there by the water. Thanks for listening. You're on DMAC and Reiter.
Well, love the show, and also thanks for letting someone into the conversation with a different point of view. My thinking on it, just having gone through this whole separation anxiety with LeBron, right? Look at the way he exited LA, and now look at the way Skubal is, entering LA. I just want to say the money is huge. The potential money is huge. I think that where's the gratitude? Where's like the point at which they, where he understands you got to be embraced by LA. That's the one thing that I feel bad about LeBron leaving, and it isn't so far ago that he left. That, is that a good separation from a city that, gave him everything that we had? I just think that it's backwards, right? Like this guy should be willing to, sorry for the analogy, but play ball. Like, get us where's the romance? Where is the bromance? I don't see it. I'm floored that we're already at the conversation, the part about Detroit again. Wow, right? Wow.
I think it's such a great call, and it's such a great point. Thank you for the phone call in Santa Monica. And as Ty noted, and Ty, I love that you like that about the show. You don't have to agree with Doug and I. We will treat you with respect as long as you treat everybody here with respect. That is the mantra. That is the deal. Call in 855-97 LA Fan. I'm a big believer in Doug, too. This is your show. We are lucky to do it. We get to come into your world. So if you're like Ryan and you think we're wrong, we're down. If you're like Ty and maybe you see a little more our perspective, we are down. We're going to get into Ty's comp of Skubal on LeBron. If you missed this, Tarik Skubal went on the Pardon My Take podcast and said that he misses Detroit. It was emotional leave. He was crying when he had to go. All that, I think, tracks. And that he hopes they can get a deal done. He can go back to Detroit. He said, not us, not Doug, not me. Tarik Skubal said, yeah, I hope I can go back to Detroit after this year. I want to get a deal done, which is another way of saying I don't want to be a Dodger. So we're talking about that here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Keep calling in. Keep letting it ring. We want you to get in line. A lot of you want to talk. We'll get to all these calls. We want to. 855-97 LA Fan. Don't be shy. Call in. Hang out. We got you. LeBron James, Skubal. The comp is on. I love it, Ty. It's on point. We'll chop that up and take more of your calls next. DMAC and Reiter. the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Tarik Skubal has pissed off my partner. He's insulted LA, at least for some of us. Why, you ask? We're not making this up. This is Skubal on the Pardon My Take podcast. Saying in different words, I don't want to be a Dodger if I can have what I want after this mercenary spell.
I would love to play my whole career in Detroit. I would love to. And hopefully those negotiations can pick back up in November, once the playoffs are done. And we'll see where that goes. Hopefully they're involved with everything. I would love to return. I got nothing but good things to say about the city of Detroit.
I got to tell you, I want to be consistent here, okay? I'm not mad at Tarik Skubal. It's okay that he has that view. And Ty, who just called in from Santa Monica, if you want to call in, by the way, 855-97-LA fan, 855-975-2326. It is very similar to the conversations we had and I had about LeBron James that went viral and led to, a lot of really sort of interesting back and forth here on this station and elsewhere. LeBron had every right to go to Philly, right? It's a little different because LeBron spent a lot of time in LA and Skubal hasn't. It's just a reminder that as much as you love the Dodgers and people love the Dodgers and the Dodgers they're a public trust, not everyone that comes here is going to feel that way. And Skubal may get there. He may get there. But he is, for the moment, a mercenary. He is, for the moment, someone who was sent out to the highest bidder. That bidder was the Dodgers. We'll get into this later, but Jeff Passan reported what I speculated on yesterday, and you and I chopped up, DMAC, that it was a blind bid process that was enacted on Saturday by Scott Harris, who runs baseball operations for the Detroit Tigers. I'm not mad at Skubal, but I'm not mad at you for being a little put out with the guy, because it is a little weird at best to arrive in L.A., and to have some of your first public comments be, man, I hope I can go back to the place that's not the Dodgers.
100%. And why am I triggered by this? Why am I upset by this? I know some people are going to downplay this, saying, okay, he's just showing his former team some love. But let's not forget that Detroit, the team, that Tarik Skubal, in a perfect world, is putting out there that he would go back to that team, that he would re-sign with that team, that he would finish his career with that team. That same team took Tarik Skubal to court in arbitration.
Man, their arbitration thing
did not want to pay him,
cheapskates.
lowballed him,
yeah, you're right.
Didn't put a winner around him, and somehow, some way, he gets to a better relationship. He's now gone from dating a 3 to a 10.
But it's a forced marriage.
It's a forced marriage for sure. It is an upgrade.
A very, very hot in this analogy.
Oh, yeah. This is supermodel. But he's still...
Dodgers are hotties.
See, you know what he is?
Dodgers are Madison Beer.
Yeah, okay, there you go. You said it.
Can it? I mean, she's a pretty lady.
Exactly. Yeah,
Special lady friend, man.
You know what this is? You know who Tarik Skubal is?
Tell me.
He's Shallow Hal, okay? He just got traded to the Dodgers.
That movie is so terrible.
But he's still staring at Detroit like it's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen, right? But that's not what Detroit really is, right? It's not those goggles that Shallow Hal has on. You need Tony Robbins to come in and snap him out of it and see that he has an opportunity to lead the Dodgers to another World Series.
That is the worst move I've ever.
Shallow Hal?
It's terrible.
You hate Shallow?
I hate it.
Birch, help me.
I hate it.
Shallow Hal's a classic.
Yeah, you know why it's terrible?
Why?
Because all of us pretending that when we got past our shallowness and the Tony Robbins effect went away, like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay, that's...
I'm here for the outrage, and I'm here for the frustration, and I understand why here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, on DMAC and Reiter, Doug McCain, Bill Reiter, thank you for listening, that you and other people are pissed off at Tarik Skubal saying, I want to go back to Detroit. Can I give you also a practical problem here?
Yeah.
The Dodgers went and got him. No, River Ryan, Zaire Hope, the guy's name I always forget. It's not Bobby. It's my brother's name. Brady Smith. They went and they got Tarik Skubal, understanding that there's a world where he goes somewhere else. Obviously, the Dodgers have financial might, but we've been through the Scott Boras, and the fact that Skubal's contract is up can equate to a difficult situation. Part of the problem is now we know that Skubal wants to go back to Detroit. It doesn't mean that they'll provide the money, but that is a small concern if you're the Dodgers and you're hoping that having him in the clubhouse and be a part of the team convinces him to stick around. I think you brought up the other day, maybe even a tiny discount if things went well. Couple that with the fact, I just want to give you this stat from Passan. As we know, Skubal had the bone chips thing from his elbow on May 7th. He missed a bunch of time. Over that stretch, the Tigers went 6-22, one of the worst stretches in their history. Since then, though, they have the American League's best record, and they have MLB's best run differential. So if Skubal wants to go back, he can certainly look at that and convince himself that that Tigers team can win at some point. It's a worry. It's just like, I know the Dodgers aren't a lock to sign him, but that part of I have to think the equation of Andrew Friedman is this gives us an advantage in signing the guy.
It could possibly. I think that you got the collective bargaining agreement that needs to be agreed upon. There's a lot of things that are looming that I think they'll take into consideration. I think the Dodgers, look, yes, you want to bring Tarik Skubal in. There was a report from Dylan Hernandez a couple days ago where he got a really good quote from Scott Boras, and Scott Boras said, look, he gets to see how things are with the Dodgers, right? So I just think that if you ask Tarik Skubal right now, what's your number one team you'd want to sign with, for him to basically make it known that it's the Detroit Tigers, if he does end up signing a deal with another team, you're going to kind of remember that. Here's the thing. He's out of a relationship, right? I'm not kind of going back to this a little bit, but the reason why most relationships fail in America today, if you look at the percentages,
Dr. Doug, baby,
is
put
money
me on the
problems.
couch.
Money problems.
That is true, actually.
Right? It's money problems. Or 50%, depending on where you look. It's money problems. Guess what?
Talk to me, Goose.
Detroit has a money problem. Detroit didn't want to pay Tarik Skubal. Detroit didn't want to put a team around Tarik Skubal. Detroit took Tarik Skubal to court for arbitration. So if I'm Tarik Skubal, you mean to tell me...
He just said he wants to go back, dude.
You want to go back to a place that he had the money issues with. Yeah.
Do I know?
No, I'm not saying you do. I'm saying
he just
hypothetically
said
Tarik Skubal.
He wants to go back.
I think the way that you got to kind of look at this right now is that, hey, this, for me, if I'm the Dodgers, is a potential red flag, and how I kind of look at his commitment long-term for this team potentially. But I still think that right now for where he's at, the good news is hey, if you want to get back with Detroit, well, the best way to do it is go out there and perform well. But if you're looking for $400 million, that's not even a possibility to begin with. So why even entertain that possibility?
I'm not Tarik Skubal. I don't know why Tarik Skubal said to the world on the Pardon My Take podcast, I really hope we can get the negotiations up and running and I can go back to Detroit. I will say this, right? Because we play these clips sometimes and things can be taken out of context. But if you watch the entire clip, like Doug and I have done, Skubal talks about, and we played some of this at the start of the show here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. He talks about how he doesn't like to cry, how he didn't cry at his wedding because he was nervous, but he cried when he said goodbye to his buddies in that clubhouse when the Dodgers acquired him on Saturday. He says that multiple guys in that Tigers clubhouse are his best friends. And the thing that convinced me what he's saying is real is you see him get emotional and he goes, I'm trying not to cry right now. Yeah. This isn't a line. This isn't something that PR wrote for him so that he can go back to Detroit and like get a free beer when he goes to the restaurant or what. Like he means it. And if you're Skubal, and again to Ryan and the Inland Empire who called in and took exception with our take, he has every right to be a business person. But to you're right, dude. It's a red flag for everybody because. Now Detroit, it also raises Detroit's hopes again. If you're a Tigers fan, this is all the more reason to be like, all right, we got a couple guys. Let's in the offseason offer Skubal some money. And to your exact point that I hadn't thought about, dude, I know I don't want to have a big fight again, but yeah, dude, but we shouldn't hear. I don't think there'll be a cap. I don't think there'll be a floor. But you just never know when you go into a CBA sort of lockout situation what you come through the other end. There is a world where there's some things put in place that make it that make it harder for the Dodgers to have financial might, that makes Skubal then, that sort of lowers the playing field for the Dodgers. All of this combined, it is a little worrisome, dude.
It is. And the thing, too, another angle on this, Bill, and look, sure, is this a guy that just kind of maybe effusively praising his old team, his own market, and trying to maybe just tie a bow on what he had there? Sure. This is possibly him trying to just think about the good old times, and that was kind of where we were at. But here's another way to look at this, too, if you're the Dodgers, is this a negotiating tactic to get the most out of the Dodgers, right? I don't hope it's that, but the problem is when you say things like this, you can frame it in so many different ways.
When you are the Dodgers, and this is what's going on, the seconds are ticking away. The sands are going through the hourglass, right? Time is an issue. and he's got to be great over the next. We knew this over the next few months. This baseball coverage on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. We are talking Tarik Skubal saying that he wants to go back to Detroit after this season. So that means 5 days into being a Dodger, he already wants to still be a Tiger when this is all said and done. Those are his words, not ours. We're going to keep talking about it. 855-97 LA Fan if you want to literally talk about it with us. If you prefer typing to speaking, that's cool. YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. We'll keep this conversation going and give you some insight on all of this from Jeff Passan as well next on DMAC and Reiter. Welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter. Presented by DTLA Law Group. On the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. That song is a choice. It's the new 97.1 The Fan.
The song, you like it?
I like it, but it's
When I was a young boy.
The rhythm of sort of speaking to his heart.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
My Chemical Romance.
Here we go. 855-97 LA Fan is the phone number. Can I read you this comment from D Clone Blue?
Yeah, let's see it.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Skubal saw the Dodgers' bad bullpen, Tucker's bad defense, and the aging lineup and said, nah.
Now I see why you think it was my burner.
Is it your burner?
No, it's not. I can see why now.
This is another smart guy out there.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason we're talking Tarik Skubal and Doug's frustrations, your frustrations are warranted. I just think the guy's a mercenary, is because Tarik Skubal went on the Pardon My Take podcast and 4 or 5 days into being a Dodger said, man, I can't wait to go back to Detroit.
I would love to play my whole career in Detroit. I would love to. And hopefully those negotiations can pick back up in November, once the playoffs are done. And we'll see where that goes. Hopefully they're involved with everything. I would love to return. I got nothing but good things to say about the city of Detroit.
I will say this. Winning cures everything. If Skubal is the best pitcher on the face of the earth between now and the Dodgers lifting yet another championship trophy, the third in a row, and he's a big part of the reason why, it won't matter, even if he does go back to Detroit, even if he gives an interview the next day about how he misses Detroit so much and doesn't want to live in L.A. Part of LeBron's problem is he got one ring, and that ring was a long time ago, right? And sort of how he exited. So maybe the mercenary steps up and is merciless against Dodgers opponents, and it all works out. Today, I get your frustrations.
That would be the best case scenario, right? Is that things change because you actually get to see what the Dodgers are all about. It's about winning championships. It's about the best player development and coaching, and he gets to play in front of 50,000 fans at Dodger Stadium. And if he does have that moment in the postseason where he pitches a great game or has almost his Yamamoto moment where he's going on short rest or just he's heroic, or just if they win in general is a big reason why.
You called this, by the way, and I want to read this comment. Credit to you, DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. We will do A-hole of the week nominees rapid fire at the end of the segment. You said it though, like the worry that maybe like Scherzer before him, he'll be much more focused on the payday than the moment in front of him. I didn't dismiss it. My natural thought is, okay, some guys will do that, but I would think most dudes are competitors, especially when you have a championship in front of you. This doesn't prove that that'll happen, but it does raise the concern level significantly. I was thinking about your sort of early warning system on that. This just makes me laugh. Ty Cobb Blends, I think I can say this in the air. If I can't, then it's on Ryan. Ty Cobb Blends writes, the balls of this guy to say that so soon after arriving. That's the crux of it, man. It's not a former boss of mine in LA radio actually used to say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. In some cases, also when you say it.
That's the thing, too. And that's what really hurts about this. I mean, to me, for all the excitement that was generated, look, this could be a nothing burger. This could be just words. This could be just him saying things on a podcast.
But he was almost crying, so I think it's real.
Yeah. No, I do think it's real. Absolutely. I do think that all of the arrows that were kind of thrown that way are legitimate just because of what he said. I think this is, speaking of the balls, this feels like a kick to the nuts for Dodgers fans. I mean, look, we just gave you top prospects.
The ball's in this guy to kick them in the nuts.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's the thing. I mean,
Bursch looks so nervous.
I mean, just imagine this.
Bursch looks like Skubal when he left, when he told his teammates he was leaving. He was about to cry.
Hey, man, it's definitely not the way you want to start building a relationship with Dodgers fans, because I will say this, for as great as Tarik Skubal looked in his first start, and he absolutely did, and there's no doubt about it, he's electric, let's not act like every single star that comes to the Dodgers ends up being elite for their entire time here. There's a lot of pressure here. We've seen with Kyle Tucker.
That's true.
Some guys can't deal with it. Will Tarik Skubal have some added pressure because of it? I think from the Dodgers' point of view, from that clubhouse's point of view, from that front office's point of view, this is supposed to be a moment to celebrate. Hey, we are going all in again. We are going to try to make history again. And right now, it just feels like, does he really want to be here? Does he 100% want to be here?
The other interesting thing about this to me is because, and again, I'm just going to keep bringing up Ryan's call from the Inland Empire. It was a really good one at 855-97 LA Fan. He had a view that's very different than ours. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it was kind of like, what are you guys doing? You made a business decision. It's fine. Relax. Why you got to go at him? And Ryan, respectfully, I'm trying to respectfully sort of remember your take. It also depends on how Tarik Skubal responds to the drama and the emotions that he creates and he's talking about. You brought up Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker he's not the most charismatic person on the face of the planet. He is not, as you have noted, always at his locker. He has not played well at Dodger Stadium. If he played as well on the road as he did at Dodger Stadium, it wouldn't be an issue. Honestly, Tarik Skubal could give an interview every single week and say, I really want to go back to Detroit when this is over. And if he's pitching 7 scoreless, one-hit ball every outing, it isn't going to matter. But I think the nuance here and that you're talking about, and the worry a little bit I have, is if he really misses Detroit, if it does make him emotional, if a guy who never cries his own wedding, his words, not ours here on DMAC and Reiter, is about to start crying on Pardon My Take because he's talking about how much he misses Detroit, that there's a world where that does impact performance. Maybe it doesn't, but emotions and pressure and sadness and what goes on in anybody's life away from work, those things are significant. Maybe it focuses him, right? Maybe some people operate really well on those sort of dark emotions. As Bursch would say, that would be a dark Jedi or a Sith. But like, as people that aren't talking about Star Wars all the time, I would just say like it's a human who's sad sometimes. Like some people are good at that stuff. But we don't know what it leads to, but it is an important thing and it's worrisome.
It is. And the thing too is, he gets traded to the biggest stage in baseball with a lot of pressure, right? This is the guy that is going to be tasked with putting the Dodgers in the position to win another title when there's a lot of questions about their current rotation. And it does feel like, look, you can love Detroit all you want. You can love being a Tiger all you want. You can wax poetically and romanticize about the time you had there. But if you're still crying about your old team when you're wearing Dodger blue and crying over your ex, don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. Don't have questions when your new girlfriend has questions, right? When your new team has some questions, your new fan base has questions.
I have questions.
Now we have questions about Tarik Skubal.
Yeah, man.
And his commitment to this team long term. So
right, we got to rush through a-hole, hero, a-hole of the week, not hero of the week, a-hole of the week, totally different thing, opposite thing. You're the decider today. We have to sell you on it.
Oh, that's right.
We'll put a poll up, but you're the decider. I'm going to go very quickly. We're going to get back to the Skubal conversation here on DMAC and Reiter, 855-97 LA fan. I'm just going to throw mine out there really quick so we can talk Skubal. I'm going to go Kevin Durant for going at Klay Thompson. I'm going to go Brewers blamers. All these people who were blaming the Brewers for not making an offer on Skubal when it turns out they did. We talked about that yesterday. I'm going to do Kawhi Leonard for the latest Pablo Torre allegations. We'll try to hit that later in the show. Those are my 3 nominees so far.
Okay, I got to go first. I got to go Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert throwing it in our face.
Why is he an a-hole?
Because it's superstar quarterback, millionaire. He gets Madison beer. I just didn't like the optics of it too, man.
You couldn't beer to look at it.
I couldn't. I mean, Prince Charming.
You mad, son?
I need a beer. I have to work with you. But I will say, look, not Prince.
Not the first.
And the thing, too, he's out there. You haven't won a playoff game, right? You haven't. There's been a lot of questions about
you. got a minute.
Yeah, and it's,
I want to see where you're going.
It's not Prince Charming. It's Prince Charmin because it was soft.
All right, who
yeah.
else?
I also got Nick Wright for questioning if Aaron Donald was going to be good, and he said that his last 2 years were bad. The truth is the stats
Nick.
back it up. Also, I want to go with I want to go John Fisher, the owner of the A's. So he's definitely out there too. Also, too,
that's all of it.
Last one too, I would say big a-hole is people that make the fruit salad and they put all the honeydew in there. Too much honeydew in the fruit salad.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
I love that. I'm disappointed in you.
And Tarik Skubal.
No.
Tarik Skubal.
No,
okay.
I'm doing
Okay,
it.
I'll do Tarik Skubal.
No, you would do it.
Okay, I just
Skubal
forgot.
by Bill Reiter.
I got Tarik Skubal,
by Bill
a-hole of the week, because you do not love and show love to your old team. You don't text your ex. You don't call your ex. I got Tarik Skubal, a-hole of the week.
Great. You're the decider, so we'll see if you have the guts to actually make him the a-hole of the week at the end of the show. More Tarik Skubal talk next on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Happy Friday. Doug McCain, Bill Reiter. It's DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Jeff Passan has an outstanding piece of journalism over at ESPN today. Our friend, who we've had on the show, great guy, wrote, sort of gave the insight. We know, obviously, Tarik Skubal became a Dodger. The trade was officially the news was broken on Saturday. And he writes that earlier in the day, word had filtered around the front offices of Major League Baseball that the Mariners were listening to offers on right-hander George Kirby. As you know, you brought this up, DMAC, on DMAC and Reiter. That pitcher's performance had paled compared to Skubal's, but he won't reach free agency until 28, so there was some control. And according to Passan, Detroit feared if they waited too long on a pitcher like Kirby, it could, quote, potentially collapse the Skubal market, end quote. So there were blind bids process that was put in. Scott Harris, who runs baseball operations for Detroit, said to everybody, make the best offer you can. Offers were made, and we'll get into the details of this, but they really liked in Detroit not just the prospects themselves, but the balance of prospects. Obviously, Zaire Hope is an outfielder, and River Ryan, who we've had on the show, your buddy, is a starting pitcher with a lot of upside despite his age. And all of a sudden, Skubal's a Dodger, and we're celebrating. It's amazing. And then all of a sudden, a few days later, he's in Chicago, and even though the Dodgers lost that game as part of the 6-game losing streak, Tarik Skubal pitched pretty well, right? The line was good. He pitched fine. And then in the last 24 hours, on Pardon My Take, Tarik Skubal, newly acquired, went out there and told everybody, and this is what we're focusing on, that in effect, he is emotionally sad and devastated he's not in Detroit. And even though he didn't bring up the Dodgers, he is eyeing the possibility he'd like to return, to leave LA at the end of the season.
I would love to play my whole career in Detroit. I would love to. And hopefully those negotiations can pick back up in November, once the playoffs are done. And we'll see where that goes. Hopefully they're involved with everything. I would love to return. I got nothing but good things to say about the city of Detroit.
And those that don't know, he talked, it's a longer clip, we won't play all of it, but he talked about being emotional, how he never cries, but he cried when he got traded, which is all fine, by the way, he's a human being. And then he said, sort of crying on that clip. So we don't think this is PR. We think this is a guy still longing to go back to the Tigers.
I mean, that's what he said, right? Those are his own words.
Yep.
I mean, if you were to say, hey, Tarik, can you give us a list of your preferred destinations? If every team had $400 million to get you, who would you give that $400 million to? Based on what he's saying right there, that would be the Detroit Tigers, right? That is the team that basically said that the value was not there with him, the one that questioned his value. And I think if I'm Tarik Skubal, if I'm the Dodgers, this is a hired gun business relationship. And I don't think this changes how I view, all right, do I want him to be great for the Dodgers? Absolutely.
Of course we do.
Do I think he's going to be great for the Dodgers? Absolutely.
Does this lower your confidence level at all?
It doesn't lower my confidence level at all, in the sense that I know that still the way this stuff plays, he's absolutely elite. But yeah. I will say this, if you want to be in Detroit, do you really want to be in a big market? Do you really want the bright lights of Los Angeles? Do you want to perform at that level?
Will you go, and this is your point, it's not my point. I was borderline skeptical, but I think, which for me is like basically agreement, I think I was respectfully skeptical. So this is credit to Doug McCain, not to me here on DMAC and Reiter. You noted just to keep an eye on whether he's going to be willing to pitch enough innings to stretch himself, right, to be a workhorse. Not that the Dodgers should, your argument, pitch him 140 pitches, but just when the moments arrive, this definitely makes me sort of worried about that. If he's already thinking about going back to Detroit, he may not be interested with a contract coming up on a team that he is a mercenary hired for, not a place he feels a connection to, that he wants to be, to go that extra 7th, 8th inning.
Here's the thing, though, Bill. Does he really love Detroit? Does he really love Detroit to take $100 million less? I don't think he does.
He wants them to love him.
I think he wants them.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, and I think from the Dodgers standpoint, and that's what this is all about. This is how it really should be framed, right? We don't know Tarik Skubal like that. We don't have this long-term relationship with Tarik Skubal, but it does almost feel like, wait a second, like you have been brought in here and you're supposed to be this guy, and then you're saying those things that not only impact us now, could be a distraction to the current team that, mind you, is mired in a 6-game losing streak, and this is a little bit of a additional possible distraction. But guess what? I don't care how good of a player you are. I don't care about your history with other teams. He still has to do a lot of things. He's got to win over his teammates. He's got to win over the city. He's got to win over this fan base. And right now, I don't think he's done 2 of those 3.
Here's the other thing that I think is practically problematic about this. And there are some people out there that I'm sure are going to say, whatever, Detroit can't afford him, relax. Sure, maybe, fair, fine, I guess. But this is DMAC and Reiter. This isn't Tarik and Skubal. It's Tarik Skubal who said that he wants to go back to Detroit and he hopes that it happens. But another practical sense is, and again, I'm not, can I just be very clear? Where's the camera? Is my camera? I'm not mad at Tarik Skubal. I'm just describing things as they are. I'm not angry or putting Tarik Skubal down as a human being. We're just trying to assess how this impacts LA, how this impacts the Dodgers. If he feels so little of a connection to LA, and that's, we've had this talk. When I first came to LA, I was like, oh my God, I want to live here forever, right? I don't have that reaction when I land in Houston. It's not a shot at Houston. You just connect with different places. But if Tarik Skubal wants to be in Detroit and he doesn't connect with LA, the other takeaway for me is it's going to be about the money. If Detroit can't cough up $400 million or whatever the number is post CBA issues, it's going to be about the money. And I think this lowers the odds, or he's telling us it lowers the odds that there'll be any kind of Dodgers discount. So if the Mets, I mean, you can also be idiotic in spending. If the Mets just go, we'll give you $420. If whatever other team is out there just gets crazy with the wallet, it doesn't sound like Tarik Skubal so enamored with the idea of Los Angeles, California, and the Dodgers that he'd be like, I'll take a little less for LA. And so there's also just a bidding war the Dodgers can lose because, again, I'm not mad at him. He's not in love with LA. He's in love with his ex, as you noted. And so maybe this story isn't that he's going back to Detroit, but it does mean that his heart is going to lead him to the Tigers. And if, as you noted, it's his wallet that's the motivating factor, that this rental just becomes about, it's a totally separate equation than whether the Dodgers want to offer the most money when we get to whenever that time is.
I love that you bring that up. And I love how you always kind of tap into that as far as, hey, loving Los Angeles and just kind of just the points that there, just because I think that we have to recognize that if it feels soulless, if it feels robotic, if it feels like, okay, this is just about a transactional relationship where we're trying to just win a championship, it just doesn't feel as good, right? Like just period, end of story. And here's the thing. Tarik Skubal saying he wants to go back to Detroit after getting to the trade, after going to the Dodgers. Guess what? That is a little bit of a slap in the face. It truly is. And it's not because he loves Detroit, right? Nobody said you can't appreciate where you came from. You should. But there's a difference between respecting your old team and making your new team feel like that you were forced to go there with some consolation prize, right? I just think that's, to me, where it's at, because I think that what really bothers me about this, right? And I'm probably overreacting. I'm in the overreaction business,
no,
though,
dude,
right? And I will say this, though.
You can't say these words on the air, but you see what I just wrote to Bursch?
Okay, awesome
this
stuff.
This is good. Yeah, I said different words.
Awesome stuff.
It's great stuff, dude. I wrote down. Is it weird that I wrote down some of your stuff that I like. I wrote soulless, robotic, loveless. That's it. You nailed it.
Well, here's the thing.
It doesn't feel...
It's the feeling of, right? Like, here's the thing, Bill. You can love your ex. You can miss your ex.
I don't, Lori.
But here's the thing, though.
Oh, sorry. They're talking to me.
You don't walk into a new relationship where he's going to wear his Tigers jersey on the Dodgers jersey now. Is he going to do that? I mean, here's the thing. They didn't trade for a guy that's already planning his exit. I think that's what bothers me too. Is he already thinking of his exit? Is he already planning his exit? By the
way, Detroit's good. I mean, I know that they're not good enough to have held on to him, but I hadn't paid enough attention to this. We just wanted them to lose. They, as Passan writes, that Skubal, we know that he was out for a bunch. They were 6-22 at one point. Since then, they have the best record in Major League Baseball, in the American League, and they have the best run differential in Major League Baseball. So if Skubal, it's not only Skubal convincing himself, right, that this can work, it does give Scott Harris the ability, if he wants to look at this season and say, to try to sell his owner on $400 million. And I'm not saying that Detroit's owners, they're cheap, but historically, they're going to come up with the money. They spent a lot of money this year. But I think it does just create the worry. His words are basically a cry to Scott Harris, come get me. And Scott Harris does have some data that he can point to if he tries to go to his owner and say, look how good we were. We couldn't catch up quickly enough. Skubal's injury put us in a hole. We got off to a bad start, but we were the best team in baseball before we had to trade Skubal, and we got these prospects. So boss, you get the best of all worlds. Give me the money for Skubal. We're this World Series team, and we got River Ryan and Zaire Hope and this third-round pick from the Dodgers that we think at the AA level could grow into something. I do think that there's a world where this is not great for LA if part of LA's plan was to retain this guy.
Absolutely. Look, there's a world just top of my head. I remember when the Yankees traded Aroldis Chapman, right? And they got Gleyber Torres, and then he went back to the Yankees, right? It's not something that's impossible.
And by the way, Chapman was awful. I covered that World Series. He was not good in that postseason, and the Cubs won despite him, not because of him. So that's another thing is there's never a guarantee that the mercenary is going to be amazing.
Exactly. And here's the thing, too. There's no guarantees with all of this stuff. It does put pressure on him to go out there and perform. And look, here's the thing. With all the uncertainty with contracts, he had a surgery this season. He's a guy that, yes, he's in the prime of his career, 29 years old, probably is going to win more Cy Youngs in his career, and it's probably going to help this team win. I just think now the Dodgers have a clearer picture about what they're after, right? And you look at their rotation right now. Yes, there's a lot of question marks. Would Tarik Skubal make sense for the long term? He would, but I don't think if you are the Dodgers, you feel any differently about this, knowing that, hey, the best thing about this is, one, you need a starting pitcher, a superstar ace that's going to help you win. But let's not forget, he's not pitching for the Brewers. He's not pitching for the Braves. He's not pitching for any other teams. And then when it comes to the end of the season, if he wants to crawl back to Detroit and try to work some deal out, which they can't afford him. They will not pay him. And if I'm Skubal, I'm asking myself this. Where are the teams that can pay me? Who are the teams that can live in my neighborhood, right? That can pay for me as a mansion, right? Detroit can't do that. The Dodgers can. I wouldn't want to say anything to try to. I mean, that's why I feel the angle to me is a leverage ploy for the Dodgers.
I don't think it's a leverage ploy. I think the emotion of how he was speaking. I think he's speaking from the heart. Dead Meow, which one of the folks in the chat, I probably should give the context, at the Fan LA on YouTube, has an interesting perspective, and it's a counterpoint to a degree and a nuance point. Can I read this to you and get your take here? He writes, Skubal hasn't played here as a Dodger yet, because obviously his first game was at Wrigley. Skubal hasn't played here as a Dodger yet. He is in his feels at the moment as he went back home to pack his stuff up. He will get over it once they start winning again and pitches here a few times. Let me ask you this. I know it's very different. Freddie Freeman, who wanted to be a Brave forever, in effect got replaced in his own position by the team that he thought loved. Basically, the Braves picked the next wife at that position before they even booted him to the curb, and him being a Dodger was the consequence of decisions he didn't make. Skubal is the opposite. But Freeman, and you know that he went back to Atlanta as a Dodger, emotional, people didn't love it. Freddie Freeman has become a true Dodger. Like you, if you cut him, he'd probably bleed blue. Is there a world where, as Dead Meow writes, Skubal gets into Dodger Stadium, he plays more time, he gets to know the guys in this locker room, the clubhouse, he has success, that he's singing a different tune at the end of September?
Oh, certainly, because I think that if you are the Dodgers, you have the ultimate leverage in that you're one of a select few of teams that would be willing to pay a Tarik Skubal, that would be willing to sign to a $400 million deal, right? I know we've gone crazy with this relationship analogy.
I love it,
in
though.
reference to it.
Is it because of Madison Beer? Is that because you're thinking about relationships all the time?
She was at some event with the green dress on. It was a Burst that sent it to me.
I sent it
to you.
Yeah,
it was Burst.
I was doing show research, and I know she's important to you.
Yeah, of course it is. LA Sports.
Why are you selling me out, man? Lori's listening.
But just to kind of go back to that, here's the thing. Sometimes you get priced out, right? You get priced out. And I don't think Detroit, they can afford a Tarik Skubal. They can't afford the lifestyle that he wants. They can't afford to buy him a mansion and Louis Vuitton purses and Porsches and all the stuff that you want if you're Tarik Skubal. And I think that if you are the Dodgers from this standpoint, you just have to look at this as, hey, if he likes it here, great. If he doesn't, we're the big bad Dodgers. We're going to find a way to get other starting pitchers anyway. And another thing, too, is that this is a way for the Dodgers to say to themselves, oh, maybe there is going to be a challenge here and to get him to like Los Angeles. Let's not forget, they are going to be the ones that are going to be courting him. They want him potentially long-term. But I think, too, the Dodgers are fine. I really do think this. The Dodgers, I think, are fine if Tarik Skubal signs here. I think they're fine if he doesn't. And I think that they're not going to be desperate for Skubal like they were for a Shohei Ohtani or like they were after they traded for Mookie Betts to get him to sign long-term. I think that he's such a luxury considering that, A, you already have a lot of A starting pitchers, but B, there's this too, Bill, is when you have so many established aces in your rotation, you don't have those spots to just develop other guys too, young up-and-coming pitchers, guys like the Gavin Stones of the world.
Do you want to back off? Do you want to? I'm not even asking for an apology. This is not an apology conversation here on DMAC and
I feel like we have
Reiter.
that once a day.
855-97 LA fan. I tried it once, but it felt like every day to you. But that's okay. You had taken Skubal. We basically had done our. I'm being serious though. We had done our. You can turn to one pitcher to start Game 7 of the World Series or the NLCS. You got one guy, and I'm not mad at you. You went Skubal, and I did not. And this isn't a PR thing. Does his words in any way impact your confidence level in what he would do in that situation as a pitcher?
It does.
It does.
It does. It does in the sense that I want to switch my pick back to Yoshinobu Yamamoto because we know Yoshinobu Yamamoto has done it for this team.
The water's warm.
I would love to. You always struggle to see me say things are wrong and this and that, but the reason why we talk about that is that, hey, you can trust that someone, even if it's 1%, Bill, even if it's 1%, that pitcher being Tarik Skubal is maybe thinking about, oh, is this too many innings? Oh, am I being overused in a high-pressure situation? Oh, am I even going to be here long-term? Even if that's at 1%, I think that you could look and say, oh, Yoshinobu is a guy that has done it for this organization. He's a guy that's already gotten paid. So I would not want that doubt to creep in. So, yeah, one game to win. You got the aliens coming down. They got the beam directed at Dodger Stadium. I want Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound, getting the final outs and starting a potential Game 1 or Game 7 for this team.
DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, where we will always, as we are doing now, talk local sports. We are not going to shy away from talking Dodgers, talking Lakers, talking Rams, talking Chargers, talking Raiders. So if you've just found us, please program us, or if you're on the FM dial 97.1, or if you're listening on the YouTube channel at the Fan LA, push that subscribe button. Hell, push that like button. 855-97 LA Fan if you want to give us a call. Delirium9 in the chat over on YouTube at the Fan LA has a counterpoint. Skubal's been with the team for 5 days. Are we really going to extrapolate all this drama from an unguarded interview? After he experiences the hyper reality of October baseball, he'll sign with us. I want to address this. It's a really good point, and we'll see. That's why I think it's important. You've lived here. You lived in LA your entire life, mostly. I moved a lot as a kid, and I promised myself I would never move my kids. And then I turned out I was a hypocrite because of the work. I've had to move them a couple times. I've gotten them back to LA permanently. So I've personally been through the experience, and I have had my kids have to go through the experience of the tears and the sadness and the real emotion of, I don't want to go to this strange place. I don't want to go to this new place. I don't want to have to make new friends. I want the friends that I have. And you know what sometimes happens? Well, you figure it out. Sometimes you go to a place and it's not as great. Sometimes you go to a place and it's markedly better, and you didn't see that coming. So in fairness, Delirium, and in fairness to Skubal, and in fairness of giving the guy some grace, right, maybe he will show up. And like I did when I moved a few times, like like Henry and Madeline did both times they moved to LA, maybe it will start a sadness and become the best thing that ever happened to Tarik Skubal. I will just, and so that grace we maybe should afford him. I will just add here on the show on DMAC and Reiter, he's not a child. He's a grown man who knows how this game works and knows how public relation works and knows what it is to go on that podcast. And to say that out loud is professionally at best maybe not the best idea.
I agree. And I think that's the thing. I don't think this can't be repaired. I don't think that this is a scenario where the Dodgers say, oh, we don't want to potentially put the ring on his finger, not just a World Series ring, but just a long-term commitment, just because the bottom line is he's an elite pitcher that can help this team win games and World Series titles. So you have to kind of focus on that. And I don't think that's the way the Dodgers do business from an emotional level. What's the 72-hour rule, right? Don't do anything emotional. Don't make any decisions until you wait 72 hours.
Oh, man, yeah. I struggle for 72 seconds.
Yeah, me too. I mean, look at me. I crashed down a little bit on this show just because I was hurt by this. But I think that for me, as far as just the big picture part of this all, is now the Dodgers understand, hey, this is where this guy's at from his mindset standpoint. This is the psyche that he's at, right? And it's kind of like one of those Love Island shows, right, where you go in there.
Never seen it.
So these dating shows, right, you go in there with your girlfriend, and then someone tries to break that up, right? They have other girls there, and they try to break up your relationship. Now it's on the Dodgers to force the permanent breakup and say, wow, this is where it's at. This is Dodger Stadium. This is the Los Angeles
Love
Dodgers.
Island sounds amazingly stupid and awesome.
It's a long show. Yeah, it's
a long show.
It's a long. They're like 10-hour episodes. It feels like there's so many seasons, so many episodes.
Is it real? Is it like WWE?
Oh no, it's completely authentic reality
Do they show
TV.
people seeing their person cheat on them?
Well, there's did you see the European ones? They get really crazy. I watch them on Twitter.
Okay.
But I think from Tarik Skubal's standpoint, the Dodgers standpoint, this is a small bump in the road from the Dodgers angle. But I think from a fan's angle, that's where you kind of wonder what is actually going on here. And that's the thing that I kind of really struggle with in hearing him say those things.
I don't blame you. I mean, you want guys to want to be here, or at least to pretend they want to be here when you are the centerpiece of a team that is attempting to win a third straight World Series. And by the way, as much as the rest of the country wants to go, the Dodgers suck or bad for baseball. If the season began today, the Dodgers are playing the Diamondbacks in the playoffs, and they don't have a bye. The bullpen's a mess. They can't score runs. Ohtani's knee is incredibly disconcerting. Snell and Glasnow are getting close to being back. Snell's very, very close, but they're not back. So Skubal's important. He's not a luxury right now. He's a necessity. And you kind of want the necessity to at least pretend to say, hell yeah, I want to be here. It's DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We're going to keep talking about this. We have some reporting on how Skubal became a Dodger that we can also chop up. So stick with us. Give us a call. Phone number is 855-97-LA-FAN. You can call in and yell at us, or you can tell Doug it's going to be okay because he just told you he's in his feelings a little bit. He's a little hurt, right? Feels a little like Skubal maybe, I'm not saying broke his heart, but it wasn't a good beginning. So we'll keep this rocking. We'll keep this going. Skubal talk, more local talk, more Dodgers talk next on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter here, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. We're going to get back to the Skubal stuff. Skubal saying he'd like to be a Tiger after this season. That's his hope. He hopes they can get the negotiations going and he can go home. Before we do that, though, and we've got some reporting from Jeff Passan in this context, we want to thank you. We want to give you the chance to get something. We appreciate you listening. And so we're going to do a giveaway. I love giveaways, man.
Me too.
Have you ever won one?
I've won some contests. I won a Kobe Nike giveaway where I got to play one-on-one with him back in like 2007. It was crazy.
Was it fixed?
Well, no. So they had like 300 shoes and 24 had golden tickets in it. It was in Hollywood. I slept out on the streets for a couple of days. Yeah,
like Willy Wonka.
Times. It was like Willy Wonka style.
But instead of candy, you met the greatest Laker of all time.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's cool. Well, we're giving some cool way though. Ready?
Yeah.
Water park time. Call in right now, wherever you're listening. The phone number is 855-97-LA-FAN. Call in right now to receive a 4-pack of tickets to Wild Rivers Water Park in Irvine. Beat the heat for less with affordable summer fun at Wild Rivers Park. Over 25 attractions for all ages, Doug. They've got multiple kiddie zones for younger guests, thrill rides like Aquaconda and Boomerango. Boomerango sounds like my kind of deal. Lazy River, wave pool, cabanas, and so much more. Make a day of it. Expanded food and beverage options. Keep the whole family fueled for fun. Lowest ticket prices available at wildrivers.com. That's wildrivers.com. Caller number 4 right now gets a 4-pack of tickets to Wild Rivers Water Park in Irvine. Phone number 855-97-LA-FAN. The Skubal thing is so interesting, and Jeff Passan, before or maybe at the same timeline that Tarik Skubal went on Pardon My Take and said that he hopes to be able to go back to the Tigers after this year, Passan wrote about the timeline of how ultimately the Dodgers got Skubal. He writes it on Saturday afternoon that the word went out. Detroit needed best and final offers from the team still involved in trying to trade for Skubal. Doug, so it was a blind bid process because, quote, this is according to Passan, quote, earlier in the day, word filtered around front offices that the Seattle Mariners were listening on right-hander George Kirby, a pitcher's performance paled compared with Skubal's, but who won't reach free agency until the 2028 season. Detroit feared if they waited too long, a pitcher like Kirby could, quote, potentially collapse the Skubal market, end quote. And so what's really interesting about this is to land this mercenary, which is fine. It's what he is. He wants to be somewhere else, and he's here. Cool. The Dodgers and everyone else had to get their war room together, dude, and put together a best and final offer. According to Passan, some of the people just hedged their bets and put in 2 or 3 offers. Some just put in an offer. He doesn't specify on the Dodgers. But to me, this also benefits an Andrew Friedman because he's so much smarter than everyone else that it gives him a chance to kind of not game the system, but he can. I trust Friedman's ability to calculate not just his offer, but everyone else's offers, and then up it ever so slightly in a blind bidding situation more than I would any other GM in baseball.
Exactly. And then you also add the relationships, right? Andrew Friedman has a relationship with Scott Harris. They've done multiple deals with each other over the years. Go all the way back to the Eduardo Rodriguez deal in 2023, and then you jump to the Jack Flaherty deal in 2024. That stuff matters. It really, really does. Natural trade partners matter. And the Tigers and the Dodgers, Scott Harris and Andrew Friedman, they're natural trade partners. And then you offer a really good deal. I mean, this was something that both parties benefited from. We know the Tigers want a pitcher. Also, Zaire Hope is one of the better emerging outfield prospects. By the way, he's already hit a home run since he's joined the Tigers in their system.
Threw a dude out today at second base trying to take 2.
He's the real deal.
Cancel the trade!
Bring back Zaire Hope!
On doozies!
So that's the thing. I mean, if you are the Tigers in this situation, and I did go through that Jeff Passan thing, a couple things I said.
Oh, man, people coming at you in the chat a little bit.
I'm here for it.
For saying Skubal's the ace.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so going back. Okay.
Yeah, it's old stuff.
Can I do the Men in Black pen and just make you forget I ever said that?
Ray Vasquez, in fairness, if you hire a mercenary, he's not there for hugs and kisses.
He isn't. He's here to do a job.
Take down the bad guys.
Yes, like he's here to do a job, right? He's on the Kawhi Leonard plan, right? You go and you just win us a championship and you help us three-peat, and then if you sign with us, great. If you don't, no hard feelings.
You mean in Toronto?
Yeah.
I thought you meant here. I was like,
oh, not here. Absolutely not here.
I don't want that.
But to kind of get back to what you're saying, though, is that kind of more information that has come out after the fact. And we know now that they did not, the Milwaukee Brewers, they did not offer Jesus Mate, who's the number one prospect in all of baseball.
All right, let me if you
I
want to
get
to
to
this,
that point. Yeah, I do.
okay.
Yeah.
Because yesterday, I don't know, well, Birch can't do it because he's giving away a ticket, but you said that basically the Brewers physically assaulted
That was a little much.
their own fans.
Whoosh. Slap in the face.
Did you just do that in live? Is that you or is that a drop?
That's me.
That's really good.
Whoosh. Okay, that was worse.
The Brewers, here's the sort of the Brewers' view of things. I'm just going to read you from Passan's report. Inside the Brewers' war room were go-for-it advocates, like you, stay-the-course dogmatists, and those in between, recycling the same tortured inner monologue ad infinitum. I can't even read Passan's work because it's so good. It's over my head. We have to go for it. But what if it doesn't work? What if, like after the ballyhooed 2008 acquisition of left-handed ace CC Sabathia, it winds up just the same with a first-round playoff collapse? Milwaukee's offer, headlined by 19-year-old shortstop Luis Pena, by the way, regarded by most public lists as a top 20 prospect in the game, and two other players, one of whom was reportedly top 100. But you're right, they did not offer their top prospect, the top prospect potentially in baseball. They made that offer. But dude, this is Passan, not me. That's a good offer.
It's a good offer, but it's not a great offer, right?
But the blind bid thing is tricky, dude.
The blind bid thing is tricky, and then you have the history there and the fact that there are already conversations between the Dodgers and the Tigers for so many months. I definitely think that was a factor there, too.
That was a blind bid, too. But you're right, it gives Friedman information on what they're looking for.
It's a blind bid, but I think, look, I'm not here to be Mr. Victory Lap guy. Definitely that's not what I'm about.
I don't think you can right now.
What I think...
That's good.
But I think if you look at the Jet Passan stuff, I said that exact same thing.
What same thing?
Where he said
10,000 words long.
Where he said in that part where there were some people in the Milwaukee Brewers organization that said, "What if it doesn't work?" And
no,
I think
you said they were all a bunch of cowards, and he's saying there was a mixed bag of perspectives, and ultimately they settled on what they think is maybe a middle road, and they didn't get him.
A middle road, though, but they did not knock their socks off in a time when they had the best record in baseball.
You said that they slapped their fans in the face. Do you want to do this again?
I'm down.
You said,
this gives me more credibility.
No, it doesn't.
Slapped their fans in the face. It does, and I'll tell you why. It's because on yesterday's show, before this report was revealed or before he dropped it, it does mention something in there about pitching prospect Logan Henderson, right? And they didn't want to include him.
Nobody argued with you about whether Logan Henderson was added.
But if Milwaukee had included him and maybe Pena's in the mix too, they could have presented a bigger offer. The issue,
and if Scott Harris,
a good offer is not a great offer.
As I'll put up a little a little red light to your victory lap that you're trying to take. If there's not a blind bid process, if the Tigers decided to take this to the deadline and go back and forth, they might have extracted some of those folks. According to Passan's reporting, it was a tortured situation in the Tigers' war room, and they only found consensus 10 minutes before the first pitch at Double-A Tulsa. That it was really close. They were close to taking another offer, and based on what I'm reading here, it sounds like it's probably the Brewers' offer because they made the second. Also, reportedly, they made the second best offer. The teams that did not see their top prospects included Tampa Bay, and the Yankees. And so, like, I hear what you're saying, but there's lots of people. It wasn't just the Brewers who, what was that, Birch? I don't remember what Doug said about the Brewers yesterday.
Slapped their fans in the face.
So, and the other thing that's really interesting, and that I know we know, but that Passan reports, it's DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, is that the Dodgers had a double advantage of both the ability, he called it negative equity or something crazy. I don't know, it's somewhere in here. But also just their top 100 prospects happen to have more balance, just in terms of like what they could offer than other organizations. And some of the offers other teams would have made, their best prospects were positions Detroit just didn't need. And so Dodgers also got lucky. You make your own luck, but there was also just some good fortune for the Dodgers and who and what they had to offer this time around.
You're right in that. I mean, absolutely. I think that for sure the Dodgers, they benefited from having a robust farm system and the ability to empty prospects that they don't need because they can fill those positions through free agency and make big signings, right? They don't need an outfield prospect like Zaire Hope because they can spend $120 million a year on Kyle Tucker. So they had that edge to it too.
2 or 3 other outfield prospects who are even better outfield prospects than that guy.
You do. You got
depending on how you evaluate.
So that is a part of the equation for sure. I think that one thing people are missing a little bit from this is the fact that, yeah, ultimately Detroit, they circled the Dodgers players. They liked those players more, and it was just a cleaner trade that lined up better for them. It's like, look, I know I don't got Bill Reiter money, so I'm a renter here. I don't own my own house, but I know there's always bidding wars for houses.
I don't own my house either.
What?
I rent my house.
I know. I just wanted to say that.
I wish I owned my house. I would be retired.
But here's the thing, though. If you sell a house, right, you get to pick the buyer, and you get to pick who you sell that house to. And typically in L.A., there's bidding wars for houses, right? You got the market price at $1 million, but when all the bids come in, it's over, right? So typically it's on the overside. The Dodgers were on the overside. They put together an offer for Tarik Skubal that
I don't know, bro.
You don't think so? River Ryan, a lot of people think they got 2 of Keith Law's top 70 prospects.
I mean,
for a rental.
If Keith Law were the GM, that'd be a great move. Look, the Dodgers the Dodgers sounds like they made the perfectly calculated move.
Yeah, it wasn't an insane overpay, but anytime you trade, let's say this, if the Brewers, if River Ryan goes on to be a number 2 starter for 6 years, and Zaire Hope becomes a starter in Major League Baseball for 6 years, that's 12 years of player at a cost control amount.
There's a lot of this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question.
But that's the goal, though.
Let me ask this question. When Detroit set that deadline, do you think Friedman and company were literally looking at their watches? Do you think they set a timer? Or do you think they just set an internal? I'm an internal clock guy.
Yeah, you are? Okay, yeah. I think it was probably that.
DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Where do you come down on this? Did the Dodgers make a robust offer, or did the Brewers not do enough? And are you upset? Are you frustrated? Do you care? We'll play this for you again if you missed it. That Tarik Skubal said he basically doesn't want to be a Dodger after this is done. All that coming up next on DMAC and Reiter. Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. Let's listen again to what Mr. Tarik Skubal, the newest Dodger, 4 or 5 days into his Dodgers love affair, said about where he hopes to be playing next season.
I would love to play my whole career in Detroit. I would love to. And hopefully those negotiations can pick back up in November, once the playoffs are done. And we'll see where that goes. Hopefully they're involved with everything. I would love to return. I got nothing but good things to say about the city of Detroit.
There's a comment here from Halo222. If Matt Stafford, this is on the YouTube chat at the Fan LA, DMAC, I'll be curious if you think this is true. If Matt Stafford had a choice to win in LA or Detroit, he would pick Detroit. That might have been true initially. I bet that's not true now.
I disagree with that with every fiber of my being.
I bet it was right, though, in the moments before he got traded.
I mean, all players are kind of brainwashed by their own organizations, and they want to stay and have success with the team that drafted them, that developed them. But that, I think, changed very quickly because for Detroit and Matthew Stafford, for Detroit and Tarik Skubal, the similarities are you didn't have a championship caliber roster around those guys. But I think that Matthew Stafford had been beaten up, and he had been just not having the career that he could have had. So I think that once he was gone, once he went from Detroit to L.A., there was no turning back. You didn't hear Matthew Stafford say things like this. You didn't hear Matthew Stafford saying, in a perfect world, I would go and I would be back with the Tigers or be back with the Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my. But I think that if I am Skubal, what was that?
It just made me laugh.
If I was Skubal in this situation,
laugh,
here's the thing, though. It's the optics of this. It really is. Because look at this. What are the reasons why he'd be saying this? One, just the emotional response, right? The emotional response.
He's a human, yeah.
And you pointed that at being the number one reason. It's, hey, he's a human. He's in his feelings. There was a little bit of a breakup. The organization that he had spent his career with had traded him. He has relationships with his teammates, and they cried in the clubhouse and all that stuff. So there's the emotional reason for that. That's number one. But he still said things that you shouldn't say when you get traded to another team. And then two,
it'd be like if he went back to Detroit and people here were like, I'll become a Detroit fan now, right? Like, that's just, you have to have some loyalty to wherever you're at.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
I think it's a good point.
It's a great point.
Trying to make points here?
Yeah, like that's the thing, right? But here's the thing too,
Who
Bill.
would do that? Yeah, talk to me.
Now that you got people out there saying he's doing this for leverage, right? He's doing this for leverage.
I don't think they've watched the whole clip.
I think I would agree with that. I mean, typically a lot of people are just reading things taken out of context. But my point is this, though. Both are wrong. Both are wrong. It doesn't matter if he's emotional. It doesn't matter if he's trying to get leverage. It doesn't matter if he's trying to get the Dodgers to get him more money, the Tigers to get him more money, to be back with Detroit. All of it is wrong because he's too good of a pitcher. He's too good of a player to have to rely on any tactics or scheming. Look, I have talked to Scott Boras, his agent, about Tarik Skubal in the past.
Yeah.
And one thing that he has said is that Tarik Skubal, even though he did love Detroit, that he would love to play under the bright lights in a big...
Yeah, but agents, to quote Clear and Present Danger, agents lie. You're an agent. I mean, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the whole thing. It's intelligence. I'm going to take Skubal's words over Scott Boras' words about what Skubal wants. By the way, just very quickly, I just want, because we love congratulations, right?
Yeah.
Congrats to Sophie and Linwood. You won a 4-pack of tickets to Wild Rivers. Beat the heat for lads with affordable summer fun at Wild Rivers Water Park in Irvine. Lowest ticket prices available at wildrivers.com. Here's the deal. Here's the sort of brass tacks on this for the moment. We'll see if there's an impact at all afterwards. Tarik Skubal is more... I'm losing my brain on a Friday. Did we already play that this segment? Yeah. Then you've already heard it, L.A.
Bring it back.
I'm doing great here on DMAC and Reiter. Obviously, he misses Detroit. Obviously, the guy gets a lot of grace in terms of this is new and being a Dodgers new. And as someone noted earlier over on the chat on YouTube at the Fan LA, Tarik Skubal hasn't even pitched at Dodger Stadium yet. There's a long ways to go between the moment he got traded, a few days later when he went on this podcast, and however he feels in October and beyond. But for that stretch of time, the real question is, being a Dodger, the pressure of that, having not the hope to win a World Series, right? The expectation to win a World Series, missing home, wanting to go back, facing free agency and a massive contract opportunity. We'll see where the CBA is. And now this thing, right? This sort of telling the world, I don't want to be in LA afterwards. The real question is, how does all of this, and this latest news included, the alchemy of being a human, how does this impact his performances as a pitcher for the Dodgers? If it doesn't, then this isn't a big deal. If it does, and for people that say, oh, whatever, see Kyle Tucker, who's had a lot longer to adjust to all the things that I just mentioned. That was the first thing I thought was, man, I get it. Doesn't sound like a dude who's locked in on the Dodgers right now. And maybe he doesn't. Maybe this is the guy that can compartmentalize personal life from work life. Kobe Bryant could, right? When he was going through his situation in Colorado, he could. In fact, it was a refuge. Not everybody can. And so I really hope Skubal pitches like Skubal with all the stuff that goes into being here now, including apparently the fact that that's not where he wants to stay.
Yeah, and look, I would love to go to Dodger Stadium and be the first person to ask him about this and to ask him about those comments, because I think the phrase that comes to mind for me in this whole thing is read the damn room. Read the room, because the Dodgers, they just gave up real assets for you, and they told you, hey, we believe you're the guy that can help us win another World Series. And you're saying, yeah, that's great. I hope my old girlfriend takes me back. I mean, that's just what's going on here. That's the first thing you say in week one.
It's I'm hanging out with sugar daddy. It's really fun. We're going to have a good time. I hope we get to Paris. But when this gets done, I hope I can go back with my ex-boyfriend.
Exactly. There you go. Right there. I mean, and the funny thing, too, is, as you point out, Detroit, that's a toxic relationship. I mean, they took you to arbitration. They argued about your value. They ultimately traded you.
But I respect where you're coming from, Doug. You're making the argument for how that you think should have impacted him. It didn't. He wants to go back. It does, right? Like, I hear what you're saying, but
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that at all. What I'm saying is that
you just brought up a bunch. Like, I got it, but he doesn't seem to care.
Well, that's the thing. What I'm saying is it's wrong what he did. And how that impacts this team long-term, even this season, remains to be seen, because we've already seen him pitch a game for the Dodgers, and in that one game, clearly he wasn't being impacted by the Tigers because he was still great out there. Threw 85 pitches, gave up a couple runs, but he was elite out there. So I don't think this is going to impact him on the field, but I think what I'm seeing...
I don't think the arbitration thing, the fact is you've noted that they tried to basically take money out of his pocket by using a mechanism that's allowed in the CBA, but it's obnoxious. It obviously didn't dampen his enthusiasm to be a Tiger if they actually come with the bag.
Certainly.
According to him.
Yeah, so that for me, this is me talking directly to... This is what I would be saying directly to Tarik Skubal.
Do you want to pitch? Do you want to do an intervention right now?
I think we should.
You want to, like... All right, Tarik, it's Bill Reiter. DMAC, the preeminent Dodgers expert in LA, which means the world, is worried about you. And he's gotten past the anger, and now it's concern, and he has a message for you.
And that message is this. The Dodgers didn't give up real assets. They didn't give up prospects to be his rebound relationship. They acquired you to help you win championships. All he has to say about the Dodgers and the Tigers in this situation is, hey, I love Detroit. I love the Tigers organization. I appreciate them. I appreciated my teammates. I love being there while I was there. I'm a Dodger now. I can't wait to win in Los Angeles. I'm excited to help them win a third straight World Series. Whatever happens in the offseason happens, but you don't throw any of this BS out there, and it's wrong.
I was gonna cheer at it, but I don't have a cheer button. I could not agree more. So I'm all right, so Skubal pitches in his first game for the Dodgers at Wrigley Field earlier this week. I don't have the line in front of me, but I think it was 6 innings, 2 earned runs, gave up a home run. I think just 1 home run. He pitched fine. The line was good. He pitched okay. Dodgers lost that game. Wasn't his fault. How many outings do you give him some grace to adjust? Does he need to be Tarik Skubal every outing? Or do you give him an outing or two to kind of get his sea legs and figure out a new ballpark and new teammates and the pressure and, moving and all that stuff?
I mean, this clearly is about Tarik Skubal just wanting to finish out the rest of this season until he can try to create a market to get back to Detroit. So to me, I need him to be really good, but I also, too, want to save him for the postseason. To me, I think at the Dodgers, the way you got to play this, 6 or 7 innings, but if it's less than 100 pitches and regular season starts, then fine, knowing that I'm going to get every single pitch and every single inning out of him in the postseason to help you win another title. I think that's the thing. So I'd probably say if he has some bumps and bruises, has some bad starts, it's okay just because it's all about the postseason now for him for sure.
DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. There's a lot of ways you can interact with the show. You can call us at 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-975-2326. You can also jump on YouTube if that's easier, a better way for you to consume the program, at The Fan LA, over on YouTube. Here's the good news for Tarik Skubal. As bad as he seems to be at courting or carrying to court the feelings of his new fans and the fan base of his new team, he's very, very good at baseball, and winning solves all things. So if Tarik Skubal goes out there and pitches like Tarik Skubal, all this will be forgotten. In the meantime, we're going to pay attention. We're also going to pay attention to the Dodgers starting lineup, preview that game, keep talking Skubal. We got you covered. You're home for Dodgers talk next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Happy Friday. Welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. You can also text injury help to 40222. We're going to keep talking Dodgers. We got the lineup here. By the way, just really quickly, apropos of nothing. Finally, I watched the new Ted Lasso. Awesome. It's awesome, dude. It was really good.
I gotta see it.
You know what Ted Lasso's not? He's not Tarik Skubal saying how much he hates London. I'm back in Kansas City and I hate London, or hate Kansas City and I'm bet whatever the comp is.
Shallow house Skubal.
The reason we are talking Skubal is because Birch might want to get this ready. Is because Tarik Skubal, latest Dodger, acquired at the trade deadline. The other thing that's crazy about this is it's not fair, but the Dodgers have been crazy maligned by the rest of America and the baseball community for having the audacity to make the best offer for Tarik Skubal in what Jeff Passan told us was a blind bid situation. And Tarik Skubal's thank you for the hate, Tarik Skubal's thank you for going and getting him, was to go and pardon my take and to say, man, I can't wait to get out of LA and get back to Detroit.
I would love to play my whole career in Detroit. I would love to. And hopefully those negotiations can pick back up in November, once the playoffs are done. And we'll see where that goes. Hopefully they're involved with everything. I would love to return. I got nothing but good things to say about the city of Detroit.
I would love to return. And again, for those who are having trouble sort of getting their, mind around the words that are coming out of my mouth, not mad at Tarik Skubal, but it's very instructive, as we've discussed, DMAC.
I'm mad. I'm still mad. I mean,
You are mad.
He literally just said, I would love to finish my career. I would love to return and finish my career in Detroit, right? So that means that's your number one priority. That means you're prioritizing hopefully going back and being a Detroit Tiger. I just hate to see that. I mean, he should be hyped and excited and motivated and thrilled.
You're a damn Dodger!
I'm on the Dodgers, baby. Right? The Dodgers didn't ruin baseball. They ruined Tarik Skubal's year, apparently, because they traded for him and he wanted to be a Tiger. So, look, obviously, I'm emotional. Obviously, I'm triggered by this just because I just don't...
Tom Stevens likes it. Tom Stevens, 92. Get him!
What did Tom Stevens say? What's up, Tom Stevens?
Damn, DMAC went off on Skubal just getting cut up. That was tone deaf.
Sorry. Oh,
no. I think by Tarik Skubal.
Oh, by Tarik Skubal. Look,
you ain't tone deaf.
I saw
your
this.
Tone.
I saw.
Acoustically
like I said,
equipped.
I've tried to do a little more comments lately, and I think it was Daniel Ariola that said he was saying that I was excited about Skubal. Now I'm disappointed. So you
getting those comments?
I feel like Bill Reiter in those comments a little bit. Yeah.
Bro?
So I still hope that this is a blip. That this is not something that we talk about for years. But I think that this is not the way to start a relationship. It just isn't. I mean, think about this, Bill. Think about this.
Talk to me.
All the excitement. And look, this is a guy that was on the show and he was emotional and all that's acceptable.
He's a human being, yeah.
He's still responsible for the words that come out of his mouth. He's still responsible for the messaging. And the bottom line is that if I'm the Dodgers, I made a deal for Tarik Skubal, and he hasn't even played in one home game yet, and he's already talking about going back to his old team. He's already thinking about potentially his exit strategy. This is like you're on your honeymoon. You're on your honeymoon, and then you see your girl texting, and you're like, hey, who are you texting? Who are you texting? Your old team? Your old boyfriend?
I'm going to tell you what it's like, because I actually experienced this. This happened to a guy that I know. It's like getting married and walking out of the church and telling your wife you're ready to sort of go back to the hotel room, and her saying, I'm going to the club with or without you. And then you all go and you watch her dance with somebody else in a way that was not appropriate. That happened.
That
was a real life.
Ouch.
It was one of the worst things. What'd you say?
That's a burn.
Oh, I thought you said that was Birch.
Oh, no, not Birch.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Birch until 3 monmonths ago.
No.
When my life was completed.
Yeah. He celebrates every reason to celebrate. He crushes it with that. I'll tell you that.
I looked at you, I was like,
But this is kind of one of those things too, where you break up with someone and then that person tells you, hey, maybe we can be something in the future, right? Maybe we could still be something. That happened to me. Do you know that, Bill? That really happened to me. Like literally, I broke up with my wife. She changed her number, and then she sent me an email saying maybe we can have a future. We got back months and months later.
Really?
So, yeah. Like I literally forced my wife to...
The Gene origin story.
Yes. So that's what Tarik Skubal is essentially doing in Detroit. Say, hey, we're broken up now, but maybe we can have a future someday.
That was a big share.
Well, it's okay. She changed her number. She changed her number because I don't know why. I mean, why would you change your number
Well,
because of
I
me?
met you,
But
and I would never.
Yeah.
I would never. Shabazz Jones, just a really interesting
What's up,
comment
Shabazz?
here on the chat at the Fan LA. The Fan LA. You can also call us 855-97 LA Fan. You can rock with us here on YouTube. You can rock with us on the FM, the only sports talk radio station in Southern California on the FM dial. However you do it, wherever you do it, here's our promise: we will be the voice of LA sports by talking about the actual things you care about. And that includes this Tarik Skubal thing. I like this from Shabazz Jones. Skubal, well, I like the second part. I'm not endorsing the first part. Skubal's an idiot. Okay. He's just like Trout, losing mentality. So that isn't, I don't know that I'll go that far because, again, we've talked about you're willing to sort of, you're allowed to miss your team. But if he's still feeling this way in 5 weeks, I might get on the losing mentality bandwagon.
Exactly, right? There's definitely that. And I think that if you are the Dodgers, if you're Skubal, if you're a Mike Trout, I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that they go years without competing for a World Series title. So that's something that all these players want to do, right? They want to win, but they also want to get paid. And here's the thing. Don't you think that after all of this, Bill, let's be honest, and I heard you mention this the other day, and I think that it was 100% factual.
Oh, thank you.
He's going to go the highest bidder. He's going to go the highest bidder.
We know that for sure.
Yeah, that's what this is about.
So do you think there's any world, I mean, nobody cares. We're not a Detroit show, but I do wonder now, like, is there a number? Are there two numbers that Scott Boras has to get Skubal a deal? One is a non-Tigers number, and whatever the highest number is, Mets, Dodgers, whoever it is, Yankees. I wonder if there's a number that Detroit could hit that's lower than that, where they could have him. Seems plausible now, and it's still gonna be really, really, really. It probably still begins with a 4.
Here's the thing: if they sign to a
3 and an 8,
if the Tigers were to sign Tarik Skubal to a $400 million deal, it would have to be for 400 years. Okay, like that's how long it would have to be for them to be able to afford something like that. And we know with their history, they've had some signings. You've gone out and you gave Miguel Cabrera the big contract.
True bacon lover gets it. Skubal a hired gun. Yep.
He's a hired gun, and that's the thing. That's how this starts now. He's an absolute hired gun. The Dodgers hopefully get the best of this, too. I think that, if anything, I'm not saying this is the case, but if this is a window into what Tarik Skubal is looking for, and the Dodgers are kind of thinking to themselves, look, let's focus on this year. Here's the thing. The Dodgers are winners in all this no matter what if he performs well for them. That's what needs to happen.
I like the ambition of obviously the Dodgers going for it regardless. Today's lineup, by the way: Ohtani, Pages, Freeman, Muncy, Betts, Tucker, Teo, Edman, Fiducia, and the greatest pitcher in the history of my heart, Roki Sasaki.
That's your guy, man.
I love Roki.
He's gonna be the stopper. He really is.
I love Roki. What are the percentage odds that Roki pitches better than Skubal over the next 7 weeks, 8 weeks? I'm going to go 7.1%.
I was going to say...
Don't go 0.
I was going to say... No, nothing's 0. Nothing's impossible. I would say less than 5%, though.
Okay.
And if that happens, that's a problem. It could be a good problem, too, though, because we know Skubal is great, but he's not locked up for the next 6 years, right? You got Roki Sasaki.
Here's the other level of grace I want to give Tarik Skubal. Should we play this again? I think I want to keep. Should we keep resetting this just so people can hear this? The reason we're talking so much about Skubal and his loyalty or his focus or whatever it is not because we're bored, but because Tarik Skubal apparently was emotional and went on Pardon My Take and said this about his future.
I would love to play my whole career in Detroit. I would love to, and hopefully those negotiations can pick back up in November. Once the playoffs are done, and we'll see where that goes. Hopefully they're involved with everything. I would love to return. I got nothing but good things to say about the city of Detroit.
Again, am I the only person hired full time here at the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, who's not from originally LA? I think I am.
I think it's possible.
I think I am.
You're honorary though. You're honorary.
No.
The streets love Bill Reiter.
No, it's just a different kind of connection, right? So I've come here and I fall in love with it. I've seen other people come here and I've seen that and I've expected them and I got in trouble because I thought LeBron would be the same way and then not have the same reaction. LA is a cat and New York City is a dog. You got to earn LA's love. New York City, you just go and okay, this is great. LA, you got to work for it. You got to figure it out. You got to find your spots. You have to understand that when you're driving on Sepulveda or the 405 or Pico, that's not necessarily the entirety of Los Angeles. And so a lot of people don't grasp this place in the beginning. They don't understand it. Skubal's been here however many times he's been here. Maybe he doesn't know. So I will say there's a world where Skubal 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, or 8 weeks from now goes, oh my God, this is so much better than Detroit. And he's singing a different tune. And if that happens, then we will give him all of the grace or apologies or sort of latitude that this little, I want to go back, was just an emotional moment where he didn't understand where he'd actually been traded.
And let's not forget, too, on top of that, just a couple of days ago, he said something along the lines of the Dodgers and everyone could have traded for him and hinting at the possibility of signing with the Dodgers long term. So if this is a Scott Boras, Tarik Skubal ploy, it's disgusting. If this is an emotional ploy by Tarik Skubal, I think it's a little more palatable and understandable. I mean, he hasn't finished unpacking in L.A., he hasn't even gotten to L.A. yet, and he still has that emotional suitcase there in Detroit, right? And he's still in his feelings about it. And I think the good thing for the Dodgers and just handling this is, we talked about a few segments ago, is that Freddie Freeman does offer the perfect precedent. And yes, it's a little different just because Freddie signed here and then they end up signing Olsen. But look, I would feel very confident if I was the Dodgers, knowing, hey, if we really do want this guy, if we're serious about signing him to a long-term deal, that we are the best organization. This is the best city in the world. If you don't love LA, I don't know what you're going to love, but that's definitely something that works in their favor for sure.
DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. We want to hear from you. Again, 855-97 LA Fan. You can call in just like Noah, Ladera Ranch, hanging out, listen to the show. Noah, appreciate you, brother. Happy Friday. You are on with DMAC and Reiter.
Sweet, thanks guys. What up? So
what up?
my take on that is the fact that he barely even knows anything about LA. He was only there for one day, so he can't really say whether he likes it or not because he hasn't even tried yet. Plus, they haven't even won a game for him yet, so he doesn't know the feeling of winning as a Dodger. So maybe give him a month or two, and let's see if his answer changes. Because
great call, dude. Yeah.
So that's my take on it.
Thanks, Noah. Sorry, I interrupted you on accident. We used to have a guy named John Ramos I worked with. Love him. Ghost fingers. That was just, no ghost in that. It was just ghost words. Real words. Sorry about that, Noah. Love the call at 855-97 LA Fan. Can I catastrophize a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. And catastrophize is the wrong term. It's part catastrophe. I'm gonna bake you a sports talk radio take here. Ready? Little dash of catastrophe, little dash of facts, little dash of sort of armchair psychology about where Skubal's at, little dash of what happens between now and the end of the year. We are talking about Skubal's performances when we get to playoff baseball, and that will obviously be critically important to how we frame him, we frame these comments, and we sort of assess him. I know there's baseball to go. But Ohtani, Pages, Freeman, Muncy, Betts, Tucker, Hernandez, Edman, Fiducia does not exactly it does not conjure up incredible levels of confidence for an offense that is stalled and a team that has lost 6 in a row. And if the season were to begin today, I know it hasn't, but if the postseason began today, Brewers bye, Braves bye, Cubs, Phillies, one of those first early sort of best of rounds, Dodgers, D-backs. All the games matter now. Like, what's kind of cool and exciting, and we'll cover this every step of the way on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. And my partner, you called this, dude. You did. The idea that the Dodgers are going to run away with not just the NL West, but maybe the best record in baseball or guarantee themselves a bye is not the reality. They've lost 6 in a row. They're not playing well. The games matter. It is significantly important that you get the bye and that you beat out the Braves or the Brewers, one of those two teams to do that. And so Skubal's going to start playing in really important baseball games every single time he pitches. He's not going to ease in. They don't have the lead over Milwaukee and Atlanta the way that they did their competition in the NL West. They've creeped up a little bit too. And again, the lineup, I know guys are hurt, but Kyle Tucker is not playing particularly well, and Mookie Betts is not swinging a particularly good bat, and Ohtani is swinging a pretty good bat, but he's banged up, and Paz has come back to earth, and just, Edman at second. We don't have Will Smith or Dalton rushing. It's go time for the Dodgers to start playing better baseball, and Skubal better lock in on that when he's out on the mound, which he's not today, but when he is.
Certainly. It's not like he's entering a situation where the Dodgers are running away with the league, with the division. There's still work to be done. And I think for him, this should help him lock in and help him focus right away because it's not like he's getting tune-up starts or anything like that. No, the Dodgers have to put themselves in a position to win another World Series. And yes, they're guaranteed a spot essentially in the postseason, But the Dodgers don't want to have to play those 2 extra games. The Dodgers don't want to have to put themselves in a position like they did last year where you had to play 2 extra wild card games, where you had to go on the road in Philly, you had to go on the road in Milwaukee, you had to go on the road in Toronto. That's what was so magical about last year's run, is that you play the extra games and you were the road team. This year's different because you have a team that looks like they're a little longer in the tooth. You have a team that's struggled offensively. You have a bullpen that's been down.
Yeah.
So I think for Tarik Skubal to say, hey, let's provide that spark. Let's inject this rotation with some life, and then maybe, just maybe, if I can delete my ex's number and just focus on the here and now.
You are a dog with a bone on the end. I like it, though. You're just like...
it's
a through line.
I mean, to me...
It's a callback.
Are
you a method radio actor?
I like it. It bothers me. It really bothers me that there's these games and these things being said before he even makes his first home start, and it kind of just changes the way you kind of view what they're going to get out of him. So, yeah, like, I'm a little hurt. I really am.
People in the chatters, the latest is Semison. I don't know how to say your name, dude. Just basically saying Kyle Tucker sucks, and that's the problem. People are like, don't want to run Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker catching strays from Tarik Skubal, going on a podcast and saying, I can't wait to go back to Detroit if I can make it work.
Yeah, I don't think people are freaking out if Kyle Tucker is saying, I want to go back to the Cubs, or I want to go back to the Astros.
Gonna miss those winners.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anyone's freaking out about that, but I do think that maybe something like this, just having the Dodgers be a part of topics and headlines, is always something that I think this team handles well. I do think that this tonight feels like it's the start of the postseason push. And it feels like, yes, you played 2 tough series against the Red Sox and the Cubs. Tonight, things need to change.
I'm with you. I 100% with you. And one of the sort of small, tiny silver linings of the game tonight is DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I am obviously a Roki homer. I love Roki Sasaki. He's got the giant glove. He's no longer tipping his pitches. His stuff is electric. He is clearly a confidence player, and his confidence is very, very high right now. And you tell me, but I can't think of a time where Roki's played well enough in the regular season, and the Dodgers played badly enough that he gets to be the stopper. Right? Normally, like, you have an ace when things go badly. Like, part of your job is when you're on a little bit of a cold streak as a team, and you're the ace of a team. You go out there and you put a stop to it. I'm interested to see if Roki can go out there and sort of take on that mantle for just a day and put a stop to this garbage.
Look, I mean, I'm not inside the brain of Roki Sasaki.
Yes, you are.
But I will say that if there's a young pitcher in Major League Baseball that feels like they're destined for greatness, it's him. And if he wants an opportunity to continue to build on what we've seen from him, that's great. I mean, you look at how he's fared of late. He's a different pitcher than he was now than he was at the beginning of the season. And tonight, I think, in Arizona, a place that pitchers, quite frankly, don't like to pitch. They do not like that ballpark, especially ones that rely on breaking stuff and movement profiles in their pitches. It can be tough to go down there and pitch just because of the air, but Roki's born for this. He really is.
We have so many comments for the mailbag at the Fan LA, at the Fan. You right there?
Yeah.
The Fan LA. I thought maybe you just didn't like the mailbag. You made a crazy face. That was like a Joker face. Maybe my favorite mailbag question yet from Semison. Don't look. Don't look. I put it just because you got personal earlier. You got a little personal. You and Jean, and she deleted your phone number. Then she emailed you and like, my love for you is real. And
I said that.
You did.
Wow.
You said it on the air.
Oh, I did? I thought it was just us here having a conversation.
No, I mean, yes.
There's not millions and millions of people watching and listening.
There are.
I know.
And you're making them believe in love again. Tarik Skubal basically made them not believe in love. Tarik Skubal is a horror film, and you're a rom-com. You're saying, no. There's good stuff, too. Anyway, it's a great, great comment. If you want to get in the mailbag, if you want to ask us some questions, we answer that every show at 5:30 at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA. If, like Noah, you want to call in, I promise I'll stop interrupting you guys. 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA FAN. And the game is in Arizona, so that means Kyle Tucker has a 50% chance not to suck tonight, right? Is that the proper analysis?
That's how the math is mathing.
He's bad at Dodger Stadium, dude.
He's good on the road, and he was good in Chicago, so hopefully that's the case.
His bat was good in Chicago.
His bat was good. The offense, you're right. Well, there was some good defense. He had the sliding one, but he had the business decision one that the ball that went over his head, he didn't crash into the garage there. But, yeah, hopefully he's picking it up because he has been, to his credit, But we need to see it on the road and at home.
I'm glad that for A-hole of the week, which is a fairly new segment, second week, and you decide the winner this week. I'm glad we made the rule that neither of us can win it or be nominated, because I feel like maybe I would have been deserved a nomination when I said inarticulately that perhaps I wanted Kyle Tucker to run into the wall to spare the Dodgers fans the experience of Kyle Tucker.
This is why.
But
Bill,
I wanted to be.
Can I explain to you something? This is why you're unhinged. Okay, I'll tell you why. Most people would say something like that, and one, hope they didn't say it. Two, hope that no one clips it up. Three, hopes that people forget it. And you keep reminding the people out there that you said that.
Here's the thing.
It's crazy.
4 hours of radio is a high wire without a net.
That's a good point.
Right? And so having almost fallen, I want to point out that my stumble includes this nuance. I wanted that injury to be painless and short. Just a little break, you know? To take your analogy, it's like Friends. Ross and what's her name to be on a break.
I thought you were going to say he's been as bad with the Dodgers as Friends was to sitcoms. But
you didn't like Friends.
I wasn't a big Friends guy.
Here's my thing on Friends. All those shows are hard to watch if they have a laugh track. I need a way to watch those shows without a laugh track. And I want you to know that if Kyle Tucker had run into the wall at Wrigley, I would not have laughed or supported a laugh track. I just want to correct the record on that in case people thought otherwise.
I know, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
You think I'm unhinged?
I still think you're unhinged, regardless of what you're talking about there.
In a great and beautiful and magical way, you're mentally unstable. And the fact that I'm apparently crazier than you is part of the magic of the show.
Okay, so it works, okay?
I guess so.
I'll see you. Hopefully you get the same insane asylum.
Two negatives make a positive. That's math. Two crazy people make DMAC and Reiter, which is coming back, talking more Dodgers and Skubal. We want no one to be injured. We want hugs and love and puppy dogs and all that stuff. Next. What are you doing on DMAC and Reiter? All right, welcome back into the show, DMAC and Reiter. Happy Friday. Presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. You can call us 855-97 LA Fan, 855-97 LA Fan, or you can jump on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. The injury report is brought to you by Ozeron Law, the Injured Worker Hotline. Freddie Freeman is in the Dodgers lineup, as we discussed, after exiting Wednesday's game early to get his hand checked out. We were, I think, on the air when that MRI came back negative and clean, all the good news. But luckily, it is not just clean. He's feeling good. He's out there. And Chris Bubich threw his first bullpen session on Sunday. This is one of the acquisitions at the trade deadline. He'll throw another tomorrow. Plan is to build him up, DMAC, for a short relief role. Dodgers have suggested tweaks. And this guy was a really good player for the Royals most of the last few years, not this year. And Gavin Stone made his 2026 debut in Oklahoma City. Stone faced 7 batters. He threw 33 pitches. 2 of them were strikes, 1 and 2/3 innings, couple hits, a run, and that run was earned. Didn't walk anybody, 3 Ks. Obviously, he's at the very, very beginning of that journey.
I love that. I mean, Gavin Stone, he doesn't get enough credit for what he did in 2024. A lot of people forget that in 2024, he actually pitched the most innings for any Dodger that year, threw over 140 innings. It's been a journey back for him. He's touching 96. Probably not going to be a part of the Dodgers for the remainder of this season, but definitely good news moving forward that shoulder's healed, that he's fully back. And I think that Chris Bubich part of all this is really, really fascinating, because I think that's one of the big questions for the Dodgers down the stretch is which of these bullpen wild cards is going to step up. There's probably going to be some movement. We could see a Chris Bubich. We could see a Seth Halverson. So it's which of those guys takes to the Dodgers' teaching and the way they optimize newly acquired pitchers, which of them is going to step up, because they're going to get an opportunity.
Can I ask you a question that's grossly unfair as it relates to like these guys, not to you?
Yeah.
Don't be nervous.
Hit me.
I'm kind.
What you got?
Who do you have more confidence in being an impact, a successful Dodgers player 1 and 2 years from now? Bubich or Lauer? Because they didn't trade Lauer at the deadline, and they were 9-0 right at, when he started. I think he was 5-0 right up until the deadline, and then he gave up 139 runs. He became, for a moment, just a moment, the pitching version of Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I think that Lauer will be gone for sure. I think
he's gone.
I think Lauer is going to be
You're
DFA'd at some point. Yeah, I think that he's going to be designated for assignment just because
that's a bummer.
He has no minor league options. He's going to probably find another team this offseason. The Dodgers got what they wanted out of him, which was someone that could cover innings in the regular season. You can fill in and make it where you're not desperate to bring guys like Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell back. So Eric Lauer, the job is done. Chris Bubich and someone like that, I think, is kind of more of one of those depth pieces that they want to see. Can he emerge? I remember I was talking to a scout last weekend, and we talked about Seth Halverson as a guy that he told me could be this year's Will Klein, as a guy that he has it click right away because of something that the Dodgers taught them. And I think Chris Bubich is someone that, look, you're not here for no reason. You are here to contribute to this team in some capacity. So I would say Chris Bubich. I think Eric Lauer, hey, the best situation, the best scenario for Eric Lauer is that, hey, he gets his World Series ring at some point, but it's when whatever team he's pitching for visits Dodger Stadium, and they give him a lot of credit for what he did in 2026.
DMAC and Reiter, who will have a longer Dodgers career, Chris Bubich or Tarik Skubal?
Wow, that's a good one. I would say, let's see, Chris Bubich's contract, see how much team control he's under, just so we give you the... So he's got the arbitration sale too.
Calibrate this properly on the new 97
I would say when it's all said and done, the Dodgers kind of get their guys, right? I could see Tarik Skubal signing with the Mets or the Blue Jays. It does feel like both of them. I think both of them are equally going to be gone. I think this is the last year of Bubich. I think it's the last year of Tarik Skubal.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the
how's
way,
that for hedging?
That was a great answer, wasn't it, Hedge? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You said it with your chest.
Hey, I just think that's how things are going to play out.
Remember yesterday when we were doing the show on DMAC and Reiter, and we said it a few days ago, but we just reminded people that when it came to the Brewers' offer about for Skubal, that your take was that you insulted the entire front office of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
Remember what that sounded like?
I do.
I'm going slowly because I'm trying to get Burge to play. So I found it very funny.
slapped their fans in the face.
Can I hear that again?
Slapped their fans in the face.
You can still come.
I'm gonna make it my mission.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and I gotta go find one from this week. But you,
what do you mean?
You got a lot of you bring a lot of gold to the soundbite. So I gotta get a cut from you. I think I'm gonna get the Kyle Tucker one.
Okay. I just brought it up 10 minutes
The
ago.
world would be better.
Can I just tell
Yeah.
you? I like it. Can I tell you why it won't hit the same way?
Why?
Because I'll admit when I'm wrong.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I'll take that one.
Dude, I have a great radio bit thing that I'm preparing for you, and I'm so excited about it. But it's gonna take some time.
Is it? I heard. I almost walked in on it. Right?
Yeah, you did. Did you see us all? You know when you walk in and
yeah.
someone's people are talking about you?
Yeah. That happens to me a lot for some reason. I don't know if it's a good
He's
thing.
my favorite person. Oh shoot.
That's right. Like,
That's what it sounds like.
It's all chill. DMAC can be here in 5 minutes and ruin everything.
Can I ask you a Dodgers
Yeah.
question, like about the sort of PR structure here? Because I don't know this, and I know about most NBA teams, certainly the Lakers. All right, so we've spent a lot of the show talking about. So let's play this again, the Tarik Skubal. So we spent a lot of the Tarik Skubal, new Dodger, a lot of consternation, a lot of you frustrated in the chat, a lot of you frustrated and not frustrated on the phone line at 855-97-LA fan. It pissed Doug off. I understand why you're pissed, and I don't love it. This is what Tarik Skubal said on a podcast.
I would love to play my whole career in Detroit. You know, I would love to, and hopefully those negotiations can pick back up in November. You know, once the playoffs are done, and we'll see where that goes. You know, hopefully they're involved with everything. You know, I would love to return. I got nothing but good things to say about the city of Detroit.
LA ain't Detroit, and when you say, in effect, I can't wait to get out of LA and go back to Detroit, if we can make that happen. You have a different media ecosystem and a different level of expectation from fans than you have in Detroit, Michigan. You just do. At a lot of teams that I've covered, the PR staff would go and talk to the guy. Either sometimes it's, hey man, watch out when you say this. Sometimes it's, let's get these media losers. Some organizations take a different approach. They're just like, you know, if our guy sees it, fine, but we're not going to bring it to him. We're not going to frame it to him. How? Because I know the Dodgers are very well run, so they're aware this is a story. Do you think they're going to Tarik Skubal and talking about this, or do they have a let's not even bring it up approach?
From what I know,
Yeah,
from what
you would know more than anybody.
Yeah, so from what I've seen from how this a situation like this would be handled, I would say 100% absolutely not. I would say 100% absolutely not. Let me tell you why. Is because I think part of the reason why the Dodgers are able to get long-term deals done with the Mookie Bettses and the Freddie Freemans and this past offseason and Kyle Tucker, that list goes on, is because L.A., the Dodgers, it's actually a great place to be a superstar. I know people probably think, wow, it's a big market. Do they put a lot of pressure on you? I've heard and I've seen L.A. is not handled like Chicago, like Boston, like Philly, like New York. Internally. Like, so the reason why I don't think that they would go and say, oh, hey, Tarik, what is this, bro? Like, why are you talking about the Detroit Tigers?
This is what happened, and like DMAC just went after you. Any of that. Like, I'm just curious if
it's more like, hey, a player saying, oh, Liz, what DMAC said, it's going on Instagram and clown him. Yeah,
not the PR guys.
I don't think the PR guys, because here's the thing. And the reason why I say this is because the last thing, but there was I remember years ago, I remember seeing like Walker Buehler was really upset because they wanted him to go on to MLB Network or something like that, and he kind of flipped out a little bit. And there was this little like, hey, I don't want to do that. And it was, okay, let's relax. Let's give him the distance. But the last thing they want to do for someone like Tarik Skubal, a potential free agent signing for them, is to give him the impression that, oh, we don't want to give you the freedom to say whatever you want to say when you're on a podcast. So I think that the Dodgers, they're not going to go up to Skubal and say, hey, don't say this or this happened. They're just going to say, hey, we support our superstars any way we can.
Can I give you my read on that? Having been an insider in the NBA and having been a columnist, that this will shock you. Has occasionally angered people I've written about.
Breaking.
Over time. Breaking news. In my experience, what you're describing, there's a universal sort of common thread through organizations that approach things the way you're talking about, and that is just confidence. That is just like, we run our system and our ship a certain way. We feel good about it, and because there are organizations that sort of really get involved, and I think sometimes it's because you're not good at the since you don't make the main thing because you're not good at the main thing, you get into the side garbage.
Certainly,
and it reflects well on the Dodgers.
It really does. Well, I think, too, it's a part of their selling point, right? It's a part of their pitch. It really is. I mean, I can think of a couple different occasions where it almost feels like you're for sure going to talk to this player or that player, and they're not made available, and it doesn't matter. I mean, all a Dodgers player really needs to do is say, I don't want to talk, I'm going somewhere, I got to be somewhere, and that's that. I don't necessarily think that would be the case probably in New York, Philly, or Boston, Chicago, some of these other markets. And that's why I think it's great to be a superstar in LA. I think if I'm a free agent, I want to be a Dodger because I know that I can have that relationship with the public relations saying if I don't want to talk, if I don't want to be a part of something, they're going to have my best interest and they're going to have my back.
In a lot of ways, the Dodgers are the Rolex of organizations. DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I don't have a Rolex. I'm not a Rolex. I'm not a watch guy, but I would never spend that kind of money on a Rolex. Would
Really?
you?
I would, yeah.
My neighbor Ian loves Rolex. He loves the Rolex.
Oh, really?
Thing. I'm ready to get robbed.
I mean, that's
I like telling time, but
you look like a rich guy, so you could just get like a fake
I
one.
look like a rich guy
To me, yeah. Or like you get the awesome glasses and the dimples.
Yeah. I mean, that's the classic rich thing. Big house dimples. You know. Boat, big house, and dimples.
So my point is,
rich as hell.
You could get a fake Rolex,
What
and everyone.
what are the words coming out of your mouth?
I'm saying
right
you
now?
could get a fake Rolex.
This is a fake conversation.
And because you look like you could be look at your ring. That's a pretty spicy ring there.
Dimples.
And you just
Can we focus on that?
I would just point out the first thing I see identify
why are
from
you
your
bringing
face.
up my dimples, bro? What are we doing here?
My point is,
Yeah,
if you got a fake Rolex,
Yeah,
everyone would think it'd be real
because of the dimples.
because of
This takes as bad as the Brewers.
the
take, bro.
glasses. No, that was accurate. Wait, which Brewers take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. One of us has dimples. Shockingly, neither of us are rich, but we do have lots of Dodgers talk. Continuing next on DMAC and Reiter.
Slapped their fan.
I thought you were going to sing. That's why I was waiting for you. Welcome back into DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. Little bit of news here, a little bit of Skubal news, not including the he wants to go back to Detroit talk we've been doing. Tarik Skubal will make his Dodgers home debut Monday, and Blake Snell will return off the IL Tuesday, Dave Roberts said. Dude, the Blake Snell return thing doesn't it feel under the radar in a way it shouldn't?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, think about it. They just added a multi-time Cy Young Award-winning left-handed pitcher in Tarik Skubal, and then they're going to get their own multi-time Cy Young Award-winning left-handed pitcher in Blake Snell. So you get him back. In his last start, people were saying, oh, he didn't look that good just because they read the overall line. He came out of it well. The arm feels well. The velocity's there. And think about Blake Snell, he's talked about this for years. I mean, he's known to not care about issuing walks as long as they don't lead to runs. So he's a guy that's tinkering with mechanics, and it's just going to be a whole different thing when he steps back onto the mound at Dodger Stadium.
What do you think the ramp-up process is likely to be for him in terms of innings, pitches, however it's going to be measured?
I mean, I think you got to hope that he's built up for at least 575, right? 5 innings, 75 pitches. I think someone like Snell, he's missed a lot of time, but he's someone that we know when he gets fully healthy, when he's feeling it, when he's getting right, that he's somebody who want to get to 100 pitches as quickly as possible. And I think this is a sweet spot to bring him back. I mean, his last outing, his last rehab start, he was stretched out to 3 2/3 innings, 73 pitches. So he's already at 75. He's going to get up there soon. So we're getting close. I think you'll see the 90-pitch mark very soon with Snell.
DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I keep thinking about that 1990s Braves starting rotation, and like you, I can't get stuff out of my brain. I keep sort of comparing it to this Dodgers rotation, and one of the things that I loved reading about and knowing about the Braves, and most of that was a trifecta, right? That was in whatever order. It was Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz was kind of the main reason that was such a great starting rotation. But there are all these stories about how those three guys would sit around and talk pitching, and how they each were like, oh my God, this guy's a genius at this thing, and Maddox with the tactics, and Glavine with what he remembers and all. And I would maybe Mark Pryor, if we ever can get him on the show, I'd love to have him on the program. I would just love to hear how those guys go about chopping it up, and whether they sort of talk strategy all the time, and what it is like if you have that mix. And there's obviously a language barrier to a degree, where a Snell comes back and now he's part of those conversations, and a Tarik Skubal, he joins the team, and because just the collected starting pitching baseball IQ is so crazy. I would pay real money to sit in a room and listen to those dudes talk about like how to go after batters and attack guys.
Yeah, I mean, you two need a fly on the wall in those meetings, right? It's like a baseball Mensa meeting. I mean, you got Blake Snell, who loves to talk pitching. You've got Tarik Skubal, I'm sure is going to pick the brains of some of these guys. When you look at, you got Yamamoto, who can still really have those conversations too. Yamamoto and Blake Snell, they've developed a really good relationship. It does kind of pay me to know, though, that Clayton Kershaw isn't there, because Clayton Kershaw definitely was the Pied Piper of that group. But yeah, I mean,
Professor Emeritus of pitching.
He is. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, Clayton Kershaw was the guy that not just the established guys, but the younger pitchers, the bullpen arms. But just
is Shohei speaking like fluent English to the guys?
I would say yeah. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen
privately.
The dude speaks English for sure, but he's very busy, so he doesn't have a lot of time to just like hang out in the clubhouse, hang out in the dugout. So he's always going point A to point B, do whatever he really needs to do to get right. But yeah, he certainly can communicate with these guys for sure.
Do you know what would be great is if you went to Dodger Stadium with like Lindsay, and you guys like had a camera, and you basically got Shohei to admit he speaks fluent English and like no more interpreter.
Well, the reason
you should do it. It'd be great for your career.
Hey, that would be
good for the show.
Will Ireton, his current translator, he's like a star in his own right. The dude has got like 1 million Instagram followers. He's
really?
Becoming Shohei's interpreter. He's become a celebrity in his own right. But the reason why Shohei,
I wish I had an interpreter.
Would it be nice?
Just because I have to pause on everything, you know. My wife, can you get the groceries? And then I have to go to the interpreter and then be like, no.
Nope.
Bill's busy.
It's like
Bill's at the bar with DMAC.
Yeah, you're right there, right? The reason, too, for Shohei, though, is he used an interpreter because he wants the fans in Japan that watch it to basically know what he's saying first. So kind of helps him.
Oh,
yeah.
so like
yeah.
that's respect. It's
Yeah.
almost as if, unlike Tarik Skubal, he knows how to honor where he comes from while still embracing the city that he's in.
Oh, burn.
Shot, burn. Is that still an expression? Shots fired. I mean, that wasn't a dig. I just didn't know.
You've got moted.
Wait, what?
Remember that one from the 90s? Okay, I guess not. But yeah.
Tell me. I want to know.
That's just like their version when
got what?
someone get moted.
Moted.
No. Yeah, never known. Okay. But yeah, look, that's kind of where they're at right now. As far as the Blake Snell piece of this all, though, I think he's certainly a wild card because he's someone that I think would be, I don't think Glass now is going to be in the conversation to be a game's 1 or 2 starter. But really, it goes,
Man,
the 3 of Snell, Yamamoto, and Skubal. I think those are the 3.
I love how you just pretend that Ohtani has never pitched before.
Even if Ohtani pitches, though, it's going to be 1 or 2 innings. Maybe 3.
Okay. Oh, there's 2 Lindsay. Sorry, Lindsay Polaris. Excuse me, Daniel. I apologize. Lindsay Polaris is our colleague here, and she's doing a great job out reporting it. Right now, it's a lot of Rams training camp, but like she's also probably not going to ask Shohei Ohtani, what I suggested.
I'll throw that one in there, see how it goes. I'm sure it'll go very well.
Dude, you're pretty fearless
Yeah.
on that stuff.
I mean, I got to get back in the mix. I'm very curious to see if Tarik Skubal will recognize me. Let's put it that way.
So you think it's a lock that Shohei Ohtani, if he returns to pitching this year, which obviously is a question mark, and we don't even have a timeline on that, you think that as a postseason pitcher, if he's back and he's ramped up, it's 3 innings?
I would say that right now. I mean, I think realistically, we're already...
Not what you want. Do you think that's what they do?
I think that's what they do. I really do. Because you take advantage of the Ohtani role, knowing that, hey, you don't have to count his roster spot against the pitchers, so you can still get 13 pitchers plus Shohei being the 14th. He gets the start.
That's true already. It doesn't change the equation. You could still pitch him 7
It
innings.
could change the equation as far as who they want on the back end, the middle, though, right? As
Yeah,
far
okay.
as guys that you would want to have on that roster, they can go multiple innings on top of Shohei's start. So, look, in a perfect world, he builds up to 5 innings. But the difference is, I think we're going to see Shohei come back, and they're going to build him up and stretch him out like they did last season, where it's inning by inning every single start.
On our last out sort of thing, like who would you want to have the last out? I had him first, and you had him 38th.
I think it was 55, right?
Where'd you have him, 3 or 4?
Something like, that
range?
Yeah, something like that range.
It's a really interesting conversation. DMAC and Reiter, the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, every single Friday, that's today, we do a list. We do a top 5 at 5. This is a list of LA athletes most and least frightening that you'd be scared to face or deal with, and that is next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what's up? Doug McCain and Bill Reiter with you. It's DMAC and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Dude, this show and this week have flown by so fast.
Fast. Super fast.
Because you're my best friend.
Faster than Tarik Skubal's time with the Dodgers, probably.
Oh wow! Yeah, you've called it. You think he's a? Why is the? I don't. We don't have to revisit.
I don't think it's because
the
of that,
mercenary thing is.
Yeah.
Just come on. Daniel Arreola, DMAC and Reiter are too young to understand 80s slang. Not really, bro. I'm 48. You know what I'm saying?
You got moded. I'm not crazy, right? That's what you would say for like a burn back in the day.
Yeah. It's 80s.
Are you looking at me? I have no idea. I've never heard that.
Really?
Bursch is currently 14 years old.
You got moded.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unk.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. All right, so this is a segment that we do every single week at this time, at this place. We go after some people. We keep it real. It's time for...
The best, the worst. This is your top 5, bottom 5 on DMAC and Reiter.
I was dancing and Sammy quickly and wisely just panned off to you. It's like, that is not a good looking move. All right.
You're vibing, baby.
So we're doing, so this is kind of inspired by Aaron Donald, right? We were talking about Aaron Donald's return is so frightening for the rest of the National Football League. And if he can ramp up anywhere near the level he had been at, that guy is a ferocious, obviously, and remarkable player. So we're ranking the scariest Southern California sports figures and the least scary in the history of this fine place. Do you want to go first, or should I go first? Whose turn is it to go first? I think it's your turn.
Is it my turn? Okay, so
we'll do the scariest first.
Let's do the scariest. So this is the scariest. This is the positive one. This is the positive one.
Right.
Okay, let's hit it.
Number 5.
Number 5, I'm going Sandy Koufax. I know that's a little bit of a surprise, maybe a little bit deep cut.
He's on my list.
Is he?
Yeah. Can I read you my quote?
What is it?
The art of pitching is instilling fear.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like the quote.
I'm going first next week.
I like the quote from Willie Stargell, who said, "Trying to hit Sandy Koufax was like trying to drink coffee with a fork."
That's a great.
It was
quote.
impossible to do. So, Sandy Koufax was unbelievable for the Dodgers. Won them 2 World Series. Incredible in the postseason. If it was October and Sandy Koufax was on the mound, there was nothing more intimidating. So, give me the left arm of God at number 5.
That's a great one, dude.
Number 4.
Number 4, I'm going Kobe. So Kobe at the Black Mamba. We know that this is someone who's fearless. He's going to not be afraid to take that final shot. So many big moments for the Lakers. Won 5 championships. I look at the NBA Finals against the Pacers where he's in the game in the overtime when Shaq, he gets fouled out. Just so many moments for the Black Mamba. Absolutely fearless. Someone who's intimidating too, could rip your heart out. You saw that a lot of NBA players, they respected LeBron, but they fear Kobe. And I think it's Kobe Bryant right there. Thought about having him higher on this list, but I got Kobe at number 4.
I'm surprised how low he is.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word disrespect.
I thought about moving him higher.
So I didn't.
Intimidating. Okay.
Number 3.
Number 3, I've got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This is Kareem the Cat. Why are you shaking your head?
I'm going first. You go first every week.
What?
It's our first fight.
Wait, you're mad at me because we have similar answers.
I'm mad at me.
Okay, you're mad at you. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 6-time champion.
I'd never be mad at you.
19-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team. Just one of the greatest players ever. An underrated player, but just imagine Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I already have.
7'2", with the goggles, Lakers uniform, with the short shorts, sky hooking over you. That's intimidating.
Number 2.
Number 2, I've got Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, mine's a little different, my point.
Oh, you put Aaron Donald? I thought Aaron Donald, he qualifies?
Yeah. Wait, why would he not qualify?
He's the inspiration for the bit.
Okay.
I didn't know.
All right.
I did it wrong.
I got Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald. Well, I could flip it to Myles Garrett, but Aaron Donald.
No. Do you?
I mean, he's scary. I mean, this is a guy that has been one of the best defensive players ever, but it's just how disruptive he is, how he just absolutely wrecks a game plan. He's fierce. He's dominant. He keeps offensive coordinators up at night. He keeps head coaches up at night. Aaron Donald's an absolute game record. The size, the physicality. Think about Aaron Donald. Anytime he takes his shirt off, he goes viral because the dude, He looks like the Hulk in football cleats. So Aaron Donald, AD, he's at number 2. Let's go to number 1.
Number 1.
At number 1, I got Big Diesel. I got Shaq. I got Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, wow.
Shaq, number 1.
Wow.
They don't call him the MDE for nothing. The most dominant ever. Shaquille O'Neal, triple teams. Shaquille O'Neal changing how defense was played. 7 feet. Absolute monster. Shaq to me is the only right answer. The most intimidating LA athlete of all time. Absolute beast. Give me the Diesel. Give me Big Shaq. Give me Big Shaq. Number 1, the Big Aristotle. Most MDE. Most dominant ever.
That's the only bad imitation I've ever heard you do.
I got something in my throat today. Sorry.
Yeah.
Big Shaq.
It's called failure.
Twism.
In fairness, my Ewok doesn't exactly cover me in glory.
So dry.
Yeah, that is the
Can you dig it?
proving for sure. We're doing the list here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1, the fan, the voice of LA sports. We're doing the 5 most fearful athletes, sports figures,
Why are you
sports
covering your
things
phone?
in history that would strike fear into the hearts of opponents.
Number 5.
Straight out of Compton, Serena Williams.
Ooh.
She counts. She's from here. She's LA. And I think there's an argument. Djokovic is sort of putting this to rest a little bit because he keeps playing, but there's an argument she's the greatest tennis player in the history of the sport. And she was so dominant for a stretch. She was so ferocious. You know what she had? She had Tiger Woods levels in that she could beat you on dominance and she could just beat you mentally. Knowing you were up against her was enough sometimes for great players to buckle.
Number 4.
Sandy Koufax, number 4. What do you mean? I already told you I did it. All right, what do you mean? Why are you surprised?
Still hurts.
I think you hear half the words that I say.
That's not true at all.
I love that.
Number 3.
Does that feel mean? Was it over? No, he looks sad. That hurt your
This
feelings?
is not true.
Okay. Pete Carroll's USC.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, that is. I was trying to kind of narrow this down, but it was Carroll who did this, and what he created. Why am I hiding my answers from you? The dominance of that program before it got in a little trouble and he hightailed it for Seattle. I think it was worthy of this list.
Number 2.
I've got Kareem at number 2. You have Kareem. I have Kareem at number 2. Now, some of this is I've met him, and he's actually a really nice man, but he's introverted in the extreme. And you when you first meet him, you don't think he's a nice man. You ever meet someone who's really quiet and you think they hate you, and then you just realize that you're extroverted and they're introverted? That's Kareem. And so you take that and the level that he played, and again, just was a punisher. He's so great. You are right. There's only one correct answer, and I think it's interesting.
Number 1.
Mine is Kobe. So we did the Kobe Shaq thing on the list. I didn't put Shaq on the list. Kobe, people were afraid of Kobe, and you brought this up. People respected Kobe and they loved Kobe. They also were afraid of Kobe in a way that they weren't LeBron.
That's what I said.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm quoting you.
Yeah. Okay. And but this it's scary. Kobe Shaq is less scary than Kobe though.
Yeah, for me.
At his prime.
Yes. I mean, it's like, but it's not an at its. We didn't really quantify or qualify this as at its prime.
I mean, Shaq was so physically imposing. It's
I'm a
so
Shaq guy
scary.
over a Kobe guy too. Yeah, but Shaq. I've had dinner. So here's a name drop. I've had dinner with Shaq a couple times. He's an incredibly kind man, just a great guy. Kobe was not that. Kobe was like he was a killer dude. He was just so there's an intimidation factor for me and the people on this list where Kobe would keep what Kobe did to Powell at the Olympics, and I'm sure you know this story where he told the team, I'm going to go and I'm just going to run into him, I'm going to physically hurt him. And they're like, that's your guy. He's like, not today. And Powell's like, oh, good to see you before the game. And then Kobe just ran. There was a mercenary quality to Kobe Bryant. DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We're doing our list, our 5 at 5, and we're doing now the least scary athlete, sports figures, sports folks, whatever it is, in Los Angeles history.
Number 5.
5, I got to go Kyle Tucker. So Kyle Tucker, this could change.
Really funny.
Kyle Tucker could win over this city, win over this fan base. He could prove he's got that dog. So far, hasn't been so good, though, especially for a guy that signed the biggest contract per AAV, $60 million per season. Yes, a lot of that had to do with the fact that he took a shorter-term deal. And I'm not doing this to disparage or take a shot at Kyle Tucker. I'm doing this because I want to see this guy perform. I want to see this guy be who he is. But so far, he hasn't been that intimidating. He hasn't struck that fear in opposing pitchers like we had hoped it would be. And look, I'm hoping that by the end of this year, this list changes and that he's on the other side of that. But right now, I've got him on my list. So, you think that's a little too much?
No,
Are we
I
good?
I like
You like it?
You're right.
Go Kyle Tucker. All right, let's keep moving.
Number 4.
This is a little bit of a deep
wasn't
cut,
listening.
but I'm going Tutu Atwell.
Okay.
So Tutu Atwell, I know people are like, wait, Tutu Atwell? Yeah, we're talking about a Rams receiver that was supposed to be hey, let's get explosive. Let's take the top off the defense. Tutu Atwell did not play well for the Rams, and he got injured a lot, didn't produce for being that second-round pick. Not intimidating. Was supposed to intimidate the secondary, was supposed to give Matthew Stafford another deep threat. It just never worked out for Tutu Atwell. Tutu ain't well for the Rams, and that's just how things played out. So I got him at number 4. Let's go to number 3.
Number 3.
I've got Matt Leinart. So Matt Leinart, great quarterback.
I know Matt.
Look, Matt Leinart was a great quarterback for USC, national champion. Did not work out in the NFL. And he's not someone that is massive, physically imposing type of quarterback, and it just did not work out for him. Matt Leinart.
He's a big guy.
But yeah, big guy, but is he like a guy that is physically imposed that would scare you? And he was a bust in the NFL.
You asked me earlier if I was okay with one of yours. I'm going to take that as an invitation
Okay.
to quibble with any of them. Matt Leinart, the success story, is an LA athlete. Matt Leinart, the NFL quarterback who didn't make it, was actually an Arizona story.
He takes the ties with him, though.
Okay.
He does.
I'm not mad at you.
I got Matt Leinart number 3. Keeps it moving.
Number 2.
Drive!
Number 2, I've got Bronny James. So Bronny James
That's a great one.
is definitely
That's
not
great.
intimidating.
Should have thought of that.
He's the only player in NBA history whose basic accomplishment was that he was LeBron James' son. And LeBron James, he got him on the Lakers. We know that. He's the trust fund kid of the NBA. The difference is Bronny James, even without the LeBron connection, it's not like he's this big, massive, athletic type of player. We all know that if he was not the son of LeBron James, he would not be in the Lakers right now, and he's just not that intimidating. The only thing that would be intimidating is just the clutch and LeBron angle of it, but as a player, not very intimidating, and I'm excited about this number 1. Let's go to number 1.
Number 1.
Dwight Howard. To me, Dwight Howard, he was the guy that was supposed to be the next great Lakers center. He had these big cannonball shoulders. He was massive and buff, but from a mindset standpoint,
He was buff.
he wasn't that dude. He wasn't that dude. He wasn't intimidating. He didn't have that presence. Kobe called him soft. You had the billboards to try to recruit him here. Dwight Howard was supposed to be the next great Lakers center. He wasn't the intimidating guy that we thought he was going to be. I got D12 at 1.
Want to hear a quick Dwight Howard story?
Yeah.
I was covering National NBA, and Steve Nash had been added to the Lakers, but he was injured and hadn't played. And his first game back, Nash's first game back, was with the Warriors. But we didn't really know when he was going to return. It was against the Warriors up in I think it was in the Bay. It might have been here in LA. And so I was like following the team around, kind of writing about them. They were losing games. I think they were on a losing streak. They go out there and they put it to the Warriors. They beat them. And everybody, and that was Nash's first game back, everybody in the locker room was celebrating, excited, pumped up, except for Dwight Howard, who was so put out because it wasn't about him. That's when I knew, like, oh, this Dwight Howard guy is a problem. And if I'm ever lucky enough to do a show with Doug McCain, who I hadn't yet heard of, he will be wise enough to put him on this list.
Hey,
I love that.
That tracks.
Before we get to number 5, one of the folks in the chat on YouTube at the Fan LA, not happy that we didn't put any Raiders in there. I'll go honorable mention Bo Jackson, who I think actually was in LA for several years back in the day. That guy was a force of nature. He wanted Howie Long, but
Number 5.
wrong generation. All right, DMAC and Reiter, least scary athletes, sports figures in LA history. The Anaheim Angels. Keep it moving. No.
Number 4.
No explanation necessary. Doc Rivers. Do you know how? This is true. This is actually a fact. This is like kind of analytics deep in the weeds. Do you know how you know you're about to beat a Doc Rivers team in a playoff series? You're down 3-1. No coach in NBA history has lost as many 3-1 series leads as Doc Rivers.
Yeah, Doc Rivers, man. That's a good pull right there.
Doc Crimea Rivers is what that guy was stealing money.
Number 3.
This one's a deep cut, but I was around this team a lot. I can't remember why I was covering this team. Jeff Fisher. and his Rams teams. Remember that guy?
Yeah, Jeff Fisher, Mr. 6 and 10.
Great mustache, though.
Great mustache. Yeah, it was with the Oilers, the Titans, and then just bad for the Rams. Jeff Fisher, just a bust.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Bronny was the better one. Kawhi Leonard. Now, this doesn't include if you like trees or allegations today from Pablo Torre of scoreboard makers also allegedly giving him funds that circumvent the cap. But nobody was afraid of Kawhi Leonard except maybe the PR staff who has to field these calls and questions these days.
Number 1.
This is the least scary athlete in the history of Los Angeles sports. Here on DMAC and Reiter. For me, Bill Reiter. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert.
Wow.
Yeah.
Taking a shot at Justin Herbert.
Not taking a shot. Keeping
Not
it
Prince.
real.
Not Prince Charming, more like Prince Charmin.
Keeping it 100, okay?
Keeping it
Here
a buck.
on the show. How do you know that you have a bye in the NFL playoffs without having the bye? You're playing Justin Herbert.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I'd like to be wrong. I hope it goes a different direction. There's time for him to change his story, his trajectory, get it done. Maybe being married will be like a new, beautiful, wonderful sort of, stabilizing force. Sort of cool. But to date, that's where I'm going. You love Justin Herbert.
I do. Arm talent
guy.
galore.
I love arm talent.
Also, too, having Madison Beer as your fiance is as good as like 10 playoff wins in my book. I'm just saying.
I'm not
just
familiar
saying.
with her.
Oh, you sure about that?
What is she
Sure
actually...
about that? Never seen that meme? Okay, guess
wait,
not.
wait, who was that?
It's from a sketch, but yeah.
No, I wanted to get. That was amazing.
Are you sure about that? But
Bro.
Hey, come on now, you're getting crazy with
What'd I
it.
do?
But yeah, look, Justin Herbert is a nice
that the
pull.
meme?
I also the Raider fan was Howie Long. That was his pull.
There's a Raiders fan. Yeah, Grizzly 0S0 is not happy. He said, "Come on, guys, and some of the folks wanted Reggie Bush over Matt Leinart. I will take exception with your Matt Leinart, but it's
He
reasonable.
took ballroom dancing his senior year. That's not intimidating.
Part of what I enjoy about this experience is the different way that we interpret the question, not just the answers. Dude, Sandy Koufax. So can I go off on a little bit of a pet peeve here? You probably don't agree with this. I think we've had this talk, and now I'm going to sound like the Kyle Tucker run into a wall thing. It really pisses me off and annoys me that baseball is soft now, on the point where you can't hit guys. Like, there are legendary pitchers who made their hay on the inside part of the plate, and part of the battle was trying to take that plate by hitting dudes. And if guys got on top of it, if guys got there, then a Sandy Koufax or Bob Gibson hit him. And if you want to charge the mound, then we'd figure out what happened to the mound, right? And that's been taken away. And so Sandy Koufax was amazing for being Sandy Koufax. I also just love that era where you were allowed as a pitcher to utilize the fear of being struck with a baseball at 95 miles per hour as part of the tactics. Today, if you even throw on the inside part of the plate, guys are like, "What are you doing? You violated this code." I could have put on soft on there all the baseball as it relates to the inside part of the plate.
It's a different era for sure. I remember talking to Walker Buehler about this a couple of years ago, and one thing he used to tell me was, sometimes you got to make them smell it. That's what they called it in the show. You got to make them smell it.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. So that's what they used to call it in recent vintage. You got to make them smell it. So yeah, you can't own the inside part of the plate like you used to be able to. It does look like a bygone era, but I'm with you. Like, I mean, the gamesmanship of it all, I'm not against it at all. I think it makes it really exciting because we've seen, too, Bill, not just be able to pitch inside, but if you do pitch inside, guys have all the protective gear, right?
That's
it looks like they're going to go to war.
Yeah.
You got the arm stuff.
Iron Man up there.
Yeah, exactly. Very Iron Man vibe. You got all the protective gear, not just on the arm, on the legs, on the feet. Of course, Shohei Ohtani has it on the wrist, on the hand.
Because Barry Bonds would stand on top of the plate. And Barry Bonds is amazing, but this, the steroids and allegations aside, he would stand basically on the plate. You can't actually on the plate route, but like you would be on top, and he would have armor on, and then he would just put his elbow up, and there's a base on balls.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
It's an unfair advantage. I mean, baseball players that look like they're not going to play baseball, they're going to war, right? They're going to battle, and I think with Bonds, with Ohtani, with a lot of these guys, it makes it to where the hitter doesn't have the advantage, of course, because the pitcher does. But imagine if you didn't have that and you had pitchers pitching inside, it would definitely be a different story. But I'm with you. Look, if someone has to throw at someone, it's a part of the game. Baseball has to police itself.
A line, dude. And we're going to police
Don Drysdale used to do it, Big D.
Oh, yeah, man. They go after that. I love that stuff. I would love to have seen Mad Bum in, 1962.
Oh, yeah.
He would just be hitting people for fun. Like, what are you doing? I don't like that guy. And guys would do that.
They would.
Back in the day. All right, we are going to break just a little early here because we have so many of your comments in the mailbag. I wanted to get to all of those. You have requests for DMAC. You have one here that I'm going to do. Your questions, your comments, your thoughts, your requests in the mailbag next. DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show where I talk too soon. DMAC and shocker. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. You can also text injury help to 40222. Dude, we have a lot of comments today. We had a lot of you in the chat. Thank you so much. It is, oh my God, there's another page of these things. We really appreciate that people are finding the show and finding the program. And I'll tell you what, on the chat, on the phone line, Ryan in the Inland Empire, we are open to criticism. We are open to you kind of pushing back and getting after us. You do it respectfully. We'll do it respectfully, but we love that you're hanging. We love that you're listening on the FM, on the new 97.1, The Fan, and on YouTube at The Fan LA. You ready for these?
Hit it.
All right. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. Delirium 9. Much ado over nothing. Skubal's being respectful to the Tigers fan base and his ex-teammates and friends. Tigers front office already torched the relationship with the insulting arbitration numbers. Point you made, but still, the guy, we didn't put words in Skubal's mouth.
We're not. Like I said, I mean, you use his own words. He said, I would love to finish my career there. It's just not what you want to hear. I see people out there saying, oh, this just means he's loyal. It's not about that. It's the fact that we're talking about something other than Tarik Skubal actually pitching for the Dodgers. I think that's a major negative for me, too.
Mike D. 1463. If Skubal doesn't perform in October, LA fans will hate this dude.
Ask LA fans about Max Scherzer.
Hell yeah, dude.
Right? I mean, you got to produce. You got to win. This puts more pressure on him. It really does. And I like that he didn't have pressure in the first place, right, just to perform well and put himself in a great position to sign that big contract. But now in the back of your mind, it's that back of your mind, okay, if this doesn't go the way we hope it goes, we're going to use this as ammunition. And you just don't want to do that. If he does not have success with the Dodgers, people are going to say he never wanted to be here in the first place. And that's not what you want before you even pitch a home game here.
If you're a hired gun, your aim better be true. Declone Blue. That rhymed on. Did you go Bam?
Yeah.
It's funny. Declone Blue, who you were falsely maligned. I won't say by who. It was Bursch as your burner account.
What was that about?
I know. That was weird. Get together, Bursch.
I flamed on burners last week. I'm not the one. Hey, I'm not the one here who has a burner. You trust me. You don't have to worry about me and burners here. I'll tell you that much.
I agree. If Skubal wants to go back to the Tigers, he should. Money and ego should not matter. And Sean Fesco, 233, absolute nothing burger. It hasn't been a week. The wound is still fresh. He hasn't even played at Dodger Stadium yet. He's only been on the road. Also, it's irrelevant unless he's willing to pay for half his worth and a bag of open stale Fritos. He won't be a Tiger. It's just posturing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
Maybe.
Look, but that's the thing. Even if it's posturing, it's all bad. Like, there's just nothing positive about saying that. I think the only positive thing you could say about it if you are a Dodgers fan is just to say, oh, that just means he loves his teammates. He loves the organizations that he plays for. He's loyal. But to me, this is just a negative just as a whole, because if it's a leverage play, you hate it. If it's he loves the Tigers, you hate it. If it's someone talking about his exit strategy, you hate it too.
DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I'm going to read 2 or 3 of these till we get to someone taking a shot at one of us. It's you, and then I'll let whoever that is respond. I didn't pick these, by the way. So, you know.
I'm here for it.
It's Bursch again. Iron PV writes, upper management needs to tell Skubal to shut the hell up. You said this earlier, but some Dodgers fans are mad about this, folks. Dead meow. Dodgers got Jack Flaherty from Detroit only for him to go back at the end of the season, and Dodgers fans still like him. Nothing burger. And IG08, Skubal doesn't have to win over anyone. He just needs to win. DMAC, first time. I think you're absolutely so far off.
Hey, I'll take it. I just disagree with that. I mean, look, I don't need to have everyone agree with me on everything I say, especially when it comes to the Dodgers. But I think in this situation, it's just the last thing I wanted to hear my big trade deadline acquisition say. Sorry, I'm upset. Sorry, I'm annoyed. Sorry, I took a little personal that a guy who is supposed to be the missing piece, the kill shot, the guy that takes your rotation over the top, and it's going to have a big postseason. I'm sorry that I'm a little offended that an organization that put a lot of trust in him and gave up assets to get him, to show him that, hey, we want to not only bring you here for possibly the remainder of this season, but maybe in the future, that guy is already saying that he would love to finish his career with the team that the Dodgers just traded from. So, hey, say you're upset, say it's far off, but I don't think it is.
On these streets, people are going at DMAC. On these streets at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA YouTube, they're also defending my partner. Jeannie Kim says, I get DMAC's take and disappointment with Skubal's comments. No one is saying the guy can't praise his old team, but really? No consideration for his new teammates? Feels like walking on eggshells. I like it. Delis Gomez. So if Skubal goes back to Detroit, do the Dodgers get played by the Tigers? I don't think they got played by the Tigers either way. I think they will have been played by the temptation to go for it if things go badly. But this is a zero-sum business as it relates to the Dodgers end of whether this was good or bad. Does Skubal play well, and/or do the Dodgers win the World Series?
They won't feel it from a prospect capital cost like other teams would have if it was like the Brewers or the Rays. It's like a billionaire paying for a parking ticket. You're not going to feel that pinch. But if he doesn't perform and he struggles, you kind of ask yourself, was that the right move? But as far as them playing the Dodgers, it's not like Detroit, even with Skubal, River Ryan, and Zaire Hope, have a better team than the Dodgers to begin with. So let's hope that they get what they wanted out of this. This will be a successful trade for the Dodgers if Tarik Skubal is elite and he pitches like an ace and they win another World Series title. It doesn't even matter if he re-signs with them or even if he goes back to the Tigers. Hell, it could be a good thing. Maybe the Dodgers dodge a bullet by not having to pay him $400 or $500 million or whatever it may be, as long as they get what they want, and that's an elite 2 to 3 month stretch and another World Series title thanks to Skubal.
Why was I so excited you said Dodgers dodge a bullet? What is wrong with me? It's DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We're doing the mailbag. Comments from the YouTube stream at The Fan LA.
You've got mail.
Fan LA. I was just thinking how I want Bursch to put together some imaging for this, and you should 100% do You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail.
I watched that in the last 6 months. Somehow that holds up, even though the technology is obviously quite dated.
You've Got Mail?
I think it holds up.
What is that? Fox Books? Tom Hanks?
I thought you were serious.
Dave Chappelle?
You just okie dokie me again. That's Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle's in that. Remember in the treadmill and he's running?
Did you see him okie dokie me? All right, let's move on from your deceptive ways. Daniel Oriola, A-hole of the week, which you will decide, my partner, DMAC, is Stephen A. Smith. Okay, that's interesting. Ipe from prison. Stephen A. Smith should be a permanent nominee on the A-hole of the week list. Daniel Oriola. Wait, no, let's stay here. What did Stephen A. I don't consume his content. And I have no anger at him, by the way, for making his money and doing his thing. Why is everyone mad at
I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know why people are upset with
the Dodgers, right?
He must have. That's my assumption there. He did have some things to say about the Dodgers ruining baseball, something like that, but I don't know exactly what it was about.
Excuse me, Daniel Oriola called him Stephen A-hole Smith.
Ooh, Stephen A-hole Smith.
I've been around Stephen A. I've never really talked to him, but not the listener. You can have whatever take you want on any of us. Professionally, I'm over people being put out by Stephen A. Smith being successful. Like, whatever, dude. Be better at your job. You want to make $50 million.
Yeah, exactly, right?
You know what Stephen A. has, which I think is sort of interesting. He has an opinion. I like it. Daniel Oriola. I'd like to hear Reiter do his Bill Plaschke impression. I would like to know why do I have a Bill Plaschke impression? Can you do a Bill? I don't. I know Bill. I don't know how to do a Bill Plaschke impression. I'm bad at impressions.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Do you want to hear my Ewok?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear
the
my
Ewok? That's movie quality.
So this is why Daniel Oriola. This is why you should not ask me to do impressions. Earlier this week, why were we talking Ewoks? We were talking Ewoks for some reason, and as a part of this conversation, I don't know why, I decided to tell the world that this was my version of an Ewok. So terrible.
Oh, man.
Can I hear it again? So I will not do. Here's my Bill Plaschke. Sup?
There you go.
I can't do it.
I'm Bill Plaschke.
Do you have a Bill Plaschke?
I actually don't. No, I don't. Bill, watch him for so many years on Around the Horn. Bill Plaschke, maybe just something really hot takey, right? The Dodgers are going to sweep their way through the World Series. I remember a couple of years ago he took some heat because he said they were going to win 120 games or something like that. So
I like it. I love Plaschke's
Yeah,
work.
me too.
Semi-Sun1 says, this one's personal.
Ooh.
But you've been personal today.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, who else would I be talking to?
You never
My
know.
wife does that. I'll be like, hey, you said that you were going to do this today. Me? Like, anytime I'm or like, hey, can you please pick up Henry? I got to, go out and have 12 drinks with Doug. Me? No, there's no one else in the room.
It's a little rhetorical
Mike,
there.
who am I talking to?
There's bobbleheads.
But
you got Kershaw.
But you just triggered me. You just did it. Who else would I be talking to?
The Ohtani Cup. You never know.
No, I'm talking to you, man. It's strong. I got strong eye contact.
Bam!
Bam! All right, here we go. How many X's DMAC got?
How many X's?
You brought it up earlier. You're bringing
That's
up
an
X's.
insane thing to bring up.
Is it
dude.
really?
Is
it insane?
Well, what do you so? Real relationships or real flings? I mean,
no one's asking you how many flings you've had. That is a whole. That's amazing. You brought that up.
I would say including like middle school.
No, I think it's purity and beyond. Or,
So-
I think it's high school and beyond or whatever. Like,
So maybe like 2.
really?
Well, because I was a guy.
Do you count Jean since she was an ex and deleted your
Yeah,
phone number?
absolutely.
You have one ex.
Yeah.
that you
Well,
did-
no,
that you
not
did
that.
marry.
No, not including Jean. Not
Okay.
including Jean. She's not an ex
2.
yet. No, I'm just kidding. She'll never be an ex. Together forever, baby.
Can you cut that, please?
No, please not.
I want to play it for the rest of our days.
Now, Jean.
This is where the fun begins.
How about you for you?
Do you know what Jean's going to say to you when she goes back and hears that clip on the podcast?
Literally.
How many exes do I have?
Yeah.
I've been married 20 years, too. I don't know, 15?
15?
A lot.
See, I never just, there's a lot of people I just didn't want to make official with. You know what I mean?
I mean, that is the most you thing I've ever heard. You went to Christmas at their house, you met their parents, and then one day you just never. Honestly, I'm not even sure your name's Doug McCain. Your real name.
That tracks. That's
exhibit
accurate.
name.
That's accurate.
Yeah, you have 2. Okay. So you okay.
3.
You're
three.
playing the field. I got
I'll
it.
throw in there
I
3. I'll throw in there 3.
understand.
Yeah.
Do you know how many women are driving around LA like, I thought he loved me? David 100 at the Fan LA. Second mailbag question. Is it right or wrong for Dodgers fans to boo Skubal at the Ravine during his home debut? You said this in the break. You were Dodgers fan. Many Dodgers fans are pissed off at the guy for saying he wants to go back to Detroit after this year.
Yeah, I think it's the part of the issue is that we're having this conversation. The part of the issue is we're asking those questions, right? I don't think he will, and I don't think that necessarily that'd be justified.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we're even thinking about throwing booze at someone that they just
I
acquired
would
because
not
of
boo him.
something that he said, I wouldn't either.
It's wrong. If he gives up 5 earned runs in 2 innings, you can boo him.
Oh, so it's about performance.
If he gets,
it's about performance.
He's a mercenary. He's a hired gun. Yeah.
Okay. And
You
from
know?
that standpoint, but you don't think that he deserves booze because of his comments?
I'm not saying you should boo him if he has a bad performance. I'm saying you're not allowed to boo him unless he has a bad performance. Like if you're looking to boo, the minimum threshold is a poor performance. I'm not a booer. I wouldn't boo anyone.
And the thing about Skubal, though, is he has one of those natural names that sounds like you're booing. Skubal.
So you're saying they could boo him?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
This is a deep cut. This is impressive. This is like the level Birch has gotten to as an executive producer. He's been doing a great job, but now, knowing that Christopher Nolan's new film is out, he mementoed these questions because he's the one who did this. David 100 said second mailbag question, and I read that first because that's the order that Birch. But now the first question is up, so we're in the memento phase of things. David 100 L.A. mailbag question: who's a bigger a-hole now, LeBron or Skubal? That's a great question. I wouldn't call either an a-hole for what they've done because, again, you're allowed to do that. But if I were doing a L.A. frustration scale, right, from an L.A. perspective, and I know people know this is an L.A. radio station, so we should talk L.A. sports and a viewpoint of L.A. sports, not Philly sports or Detroit sports, my L.A. frustration level would be much higher toward LeBron James.
Because, I think that long term, I think, too, I want to point out, too, the a-hole of the week, it's of the week. It doesn't mean it's permanent, right? I think for Tarik Skubal, it's a moment. It's like, this happened, this could change. It doesn't mean it's, okay, this is forever.
You know there's pitch tipping? You might have a-hole of the week tip there.
Oh,
I know, I like it.
I need a bigger glove. I need a bigger glove like Roki.
Over
so
your
I can't
face?
pitch tip. Yeah, so I can cover my face.
Inside into your mind because you're going to be the selector. Last one, I put it in here. Daniel Oriola, it's just a comment with a bunch of stars around it. I want you to do this. This is your assignment. Kawhi laugh. Good imitation. Terrible laugh by that guy.
I don't even know where you stand it.
Would you rather have someone you have to be around have a great sense of humor and a terrible laugh or a terrible laugh? Let me do this. You know what I'm saying. You want them to be words.
Give me the bad laugh. Give me the bad laugh.
Funny guy.
Bad laugh,
rather
funny,
than boring guy, great laugh.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true of you.
Really?
Because you're a storyteller, you're a performer, you're funny. You would love the guy, like the great laugh at your jokes would make you feel good about the jokes. Me too.
I mean, we could both have fun like we do on this show.
No, what? I'm talking about a made-up person.
I know you are, but I'm just saying hypothetically speaking goes. Okay. I would take the bad laugh is good because then you can make fun of that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Whoa, that was just a quick pull.
Birch getting it.
Birch is on fire.
Birch is on it. We're going to reveal A-hole of the week and the decider, the judge, the jury. It's DMAC. And that decision on Tarik Skubal is next on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. I was just telling my partner, I was just telling DMAC, and if you're watching on the stream, you kind of saw this without the volume because you can kind of watch as well, I guess, while we're chilling during the breaks. You're going to Barcelona in a few weeks. It's with LA, my favorite city in the world, my favorite city outside of the States, outside of here. And, oh my God, I love it. There's a place called Sips, S-I-P-S, voted best cocktail bar in the world 2 years ago. It's on top 5 or 10 right now. You have to get a reservation. It's a bit annoying. I used to go before it was a thing. It's a little annoying. Now you'll have tourists taking 400 photos. But dude, it is amazing. And this is saying something. I'm going to see if I can find the photo. I'm not going to show the world. I'll show you my friend. Maybe the most I've ever had to drink in my life was at that bar.
Sips,
dude.
Sipping at Sips.
It is.
What was your go-to drink there?
So there's a giant drink that's like in a glass the size of your face, and they have like basically a bunch of herbs and crap in there, and you have to to drink it, you have to smiss. It's a real fancy schmancy cocktail vibe place. But if you're willing to fancy schmancy it, this is the place to go. I'm literally going through this trying to find this photo where I look like I've been punched in the face by 40 drinks because I have been. Anyway, I'm gonna find it. Sips is a spot you should definitely like, but you gotta get a resi.
Gotta get a resi?
Yeah.
You think it's still a chance I can? I'm looking at it right now. These look delicious.
It's amazing, dude. It is absolutely a scene. All right, here we go. It is time for the DMAC and Reiter A-hole of the week. And do we have the whole list, Bursch, not just the 4? Can you? Who are the various nominees? Because basically, so the fans want it to be. Oh, that's funny.
Is there a pullout?
Brewers blamers for Skubal. Here we go. Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard.
Wait. This is the list?
This is the list of nominees.
It's a long list.
You get to pick.
KD,
Kawhi with the latest Pablo Torre accusations. Justin Herbert. You put him on. That's funny.
Yeah.
Brewers blamers for Skubal. So basically people who blame the Brewers for not getting Skubal.
So the Brewer blamers.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Tarik Skubal. You had Nick Wright on here. I love that. A's owner John Fisher.
Oh my gosh.
People who put honeydew in fruit salad.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah. Skubal was nominated.
Okay.
Right? I already said him, didn't I?
Yep.
Okay, that's the list.
So I have 8 names here.
Okay.
I think I'm missing one. I got KD, Kawhi, Justin Herbert, John Fisher, you said, the Oakland A's owner.
Yep.
Takes them out of Oakland, sends them to
Nick
Vegas.
Wright.
Nick Wright.
Honeydewers.
So I'm going to try to do this Bill Reiter style.
Oh, you are?
And just eliminate.
Correctly?
Bang. Effortlessly. Here we go. I think the Brewer blamers, I'm ready to take them off. Right?
Shocker.
Doesn't fit my narrative. So that's got to go.
I respect it.
I think so. So we got KD, Kawhi, Justin Herbert, Brewer blamers, Nick Wright, Honeydew, and the reason for Nick Wright was because he said that Aaron Donald's last 2 years with the Rams weren't good. Tarik Skubal and John Fisher. Am I missing anyone? That's everyone, right?
You got it.
Okay.
You have Skubal.
I got Skubal. Yeah, Skubal. And then I think I got to take Justin Herbert off that list. Herbert's not doing it. Like, if you see that video, by the way, it was a family situation, and you had kids running by. It was a family moment, and it was caught on camera. It's fine. He's winning at life.
Are you mad at the person who nominated him?
I did it.
I know.
So I'm mad at me a little bit. Okay, so I will eliminate KD.
Really?
You want KD on there? What's your quick pitch for KD again?
You don't ever take shots at a guy you won a championship with and diminish what he did as a teammate because you're insecure and you thought it was your burner account. That's my quick pitch.
I can't believe I have Honeydew on top. Okay, so I'll eliminate I will eliminate Honeydew. And if you guys don't know, I got a fruit salad at Ralph's hoping that it would be a mix, and it was basically 90% honeydew. It's like, what is up with that? I hate that. I need a little bit of a mix.
What's wrong with the honeydew?
Because it should be a little bit more cantaloupe, a little more grapes, some watermelon. To me, it's just I don't need to see an inordinate amount of honeydew in the fruit salad, okay?
We've had an inordinate amount of grape talk. There's like a lot of grape conversations going on. You know what I'm saying?
No more honeydew. Honeydew it's like the Bronny James of the fruit salad mix.
Okay.
Like, no one wants it there. Technically, it's in there. You don't want more of it.
Understand.
It's on the roster, but no.
Okay.
Next, I'll take Nick Wright off.
Really?
I just look at me, Nick Wright. He's had worse takes. I think it was just a misinformed take because Aaron Donald last 2 years was still a really good football player before he retired.
Are you saying he doesn't know ball?
I'm not saying he doesn't know ball per se, but I don't think he knows enough about Aaron Donald's last 2 years. So he was trying to make the case that if AD comes back, even the version that we saw in 2023 wasn't that great. So I disagree with that. So that gives us John Fisher, Skubal, and Kawhi. So John Fisher, horrific owner for the Oakland A's. Now the Sacramento, wherever they're playing A's, takes them out of that city. So I'll remove him just because I think this is
love the finalists.
More L.A.
You're down to the 2, man.
We're down to the 2.
This is the a-hole of the week on DMAC and Reiter.
We got Kawhi Leonard, who goes to the Clippers, and there's all these issues. And the funny thing is, this is the most Clipper thing ever, where the Clippers cheat, but they don't win, all right? If you're going to cheat, at least win.
Like, fair. Get a title.
Like, at least win. Like,
loser.
Astros cheated, won. Patriots cheat, won. So many people that cheat actually win. The Clippers can't even get to the conference final. So that's the most Clippers cheating scandal ever. Not even winning or getting to the conference finals. This is tough, Kawhi, because this is just for the week, right?
This is for the week. This is not forever. Now, you are in the running. Can you keep a running list of this for us, Bursch? For a-hole of the year. You do have a chance at a-hole of the year, but it's only for the week. You are correct.
Can I say something? I'm really into these cross-off list things you've done for somebody. Why didn't you let me on this earlier? This is so exciting.
It's fun, isn't it?
There's something very fun about it.
Oh, here we go.
And I've got 2 more. We got Bill has efforted the picture. He's found it. Okay.
Really was into that. Committed.
That was from Sips? That was from Sips?
It's radio,
Can I see it again?
Yeah.
I just want to see the picture again. Because you see, looks like a rich guy. Just saying. Looks like a rich guy. Why is it?
That's the drink right there.
That's insane. Did you get to keep that cup?
No, but I did drop one.
Wow.
It somehow bounced and didn't break.
Gonna take some sips at Sips. Okay. So this is just for the week. I will.
It's just an audio medium, my bad.
This is just for the week, right? Doesn't mean this is permanent.
It's not a tattoo.
There you go. I'll eliminate Kawhi.
Yes!
I'll eliminate Kawhi.
He did it!
And I'm going to say Tarik Skubal just because the Dodgers traded for you, and this is just for the week.
You're a real man, bro.
And you're already talking about your exit strategy. You're talking about how you still love your former team. It should just be about forget those guys. I'm with the Dodgers right now. I don't need to see someone scheming for leverage in free agency. I don't need to see my new ace pitcher talking about his old team, saying that he would love. You just don't say that you would love to finish your career with the team that just traded you when the Dodgers just gave up assets for you. The dude was in his ex's DM saying, "Hey, take me back, please." I just didn't want to see that.
We don't do Hero of the Day on Fridays. And we can't nominate ourselves, but you are my hero of the day in my heart. Because that is courage to do that, bro. That is honesty. That is candor.
Hey, it felt like with the reasoning here, crossing off the list, it felt like the one that was appropriate. Still love my Skubal snacks, but right now, this week, I'm not loving it.
This has been a really fun week of radio, dude.
This has been.
I like doing this show.
It's the time of my life, man. This is, like I said, I know it sounds corny. It sounds a little cringe, but really it does feel like Christmas morning every time I get to come here and unwrap another episode of DMAC and Reiter.
I was having a nice moment, and then you went to our place right here. Don't mean it. I know.
That was such a nice thing I said, and you just threw it away.
My bad. Thank you for listening. Thank you to everybody who found the show this week on the FM at 97.1 on YouTube at the Fan LA, and thank you to Doug McCain. Great work, as always, by Sammy Medina. Great work by Ryan Bershinger. He is DMAC. I am Reiter. It's DMAC and Reiter. Have a great weekend. We appreciate you. Hopefully Aaron Donald is a Ram very, very soon, and we'll see you back here Monday on DMAC and Reiter.